I never know when to start talking. Like, is the delay when it starts the same as the delay when it ends? I don't know. Look, I left the thing up again. I thought I had everything. We almost had everything. I'm so used to looking at the display that I genuinely do not notice it. Somebody, I haven't seen the blue in there yet, so I can't rely on him. Oh no, there it is. Somebody let me know when there's like 100-ish people, like just in the ballpark area of about 100-ish people. Just let me know, because I can't check my own statistics. Although I haven't tried to log into my own stream today. I'll bring up the control panel, select stream. No, that's still broken. That's still broken. That's good to know. I hope, as Andre just said, I hope everybody is doing at least all right today. I have questions that I want to ask. You know what? 67 people is probably enough. So, I'm probably halfway into Jolly Green right now. It came from the workbench. 51 is up Sunday. Yeah, that thought's already gone. Is it about the Cars movie? The Cars movie, everyone should know what Cars is. The Cars movie is really problematic the more thought you put into it. Don't think about the Cars movie too long. It really becomes a problem. Particularly if, someone asked me, would Lightning McQueen have car insurance or health insurance? And do the cars know that they're cars? Like, are they self-aware? Or is that just some sort of universe or reality where cars are sentient cars? So if it has sentience, I think it would have to have insurance, health insurance, because now we're anthropomorphizing them and they're people now, I guess. But if they're people, yeah, there are taxis in the Cars movies, and for who? That's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that Sarge remembers the war. So there's war in the Cars universe. Even Cars, yes, Car Pope implies a car Jesus, and Mater, the beloved tow truck, lives in a graveyard full of corpses. Because if the cars are sentient and he's surrounded by shells of cars, he just lives in a graveyard. Yeah. Don't think too hard about the Cars movie. Andre, I will do my very best to pep up. I had to make a return, two returns in 1 week, because I keep trying to buy an action camera. Why are the tractors not sentient? The tractor's sentience kind of falls into the same category as why does Goofy wear clothes and hang out, but Pluto is the dog is just a dog. And then people say, oh, well, Goofy is a cow. Yes, but Mickey and Minnie are mice. And Donald is a duck. So that they draw the line at dog. I don't know. Kind of makes me like Mater more. Yeah, Mater is super metal, living in there with the corpses. Pick and pull would be terrifying in the Cars world. Yes, it would. It would, because you're basically grave robbing, I would think. Like, you can't have used car parts in the Cars world because that's a part of a now deceased sentient being. Jared Beck likes eggs. Jared Beck, don't come to California. $9 a dozen. if you like eggs. Oh, I was keeping myself very occupied, trying fruitlessly by just rotating the outputs, trying to determine which direction this gearbox wanted to face. And then I said, it's only like 5 screws. So I removed the 5 screws, and then when this was built, I inherited this one. When this one was built, it was fitted with 2753. I don't do 2753. So I need to take it apart and put in 2654, which, if you're wondering if I have 2654, yeah. There's a mini 16 coming for the Temper UTB 18 swap. Nice. Let me get your foot when you die. I'm missing a couple toes. The car shell is just a shell, like the skin off a snake. I don't think that's... I mean, I get where you're going with that, but a snake sheds its skin only after it's grown a new skin under that skin. I don't think Lightning McQueen can take his body off and remain together. But this does imply that you could have a face-off style situation in the Cars universe. The local Cardenas had eggs for $12.97. Nice. Only $13. That's, math is not my strong suit, nor has it ever been. But I'm pretty sure that's over $1 an egg. Would you like to see, okay, I don't know, because very few of you have the same name in 2 places. So I don't know how many have seen it. I know we discussed it on the Discord a little bit, to some small... I missed out on part of it because I was out making my returns. Oh, let me complete that thought. Are you familiar with the label that they make you stick on things that have batteries in them? I had a bag. You know what it looks like? It's a picture of like a bunch of batteries laying next to each other, and then it has like the little like a diamond with fire in it. And it's like this box, package, parcel, or whatever, not to be transported on passenger aircraft, contains lithium batteries, right? We've all seen that sticker. If you order a lipo off Amazon, it comes in a little box with that sticker on it, okay? I had to return my second attempt at buying an Insta360 Go 3, and I returned the first one to the little tiny FedEx kiosk that's inside our local Walmart. I needed to run other errands this morning, so I went to a FedEx office. And I bring the box in, and I set it on the counter, and I say, I just need to drop this off. And she says, oh, we can't take that here. And I go, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? She says, we can't take the things with that sticker. You have to take it directly to the depot or whatever. And as I get older, my brain is transitioning from quip to slope. So I didn't think of it until I was already back in the car. But what I should have said is, are we on an airplane? Because this is like the Proposition 65 thing all over again, because you all know exactly what I did. I went to my next errand, and then after that errand, between final errand and home, I just stopped at another FedEx office. Just another one. About 5 miles away from the first one. I set the box down on the counter. The guy said, let me get your receipt. Bleep. Handed me my receipt, and I walked out. It is what I like to call the wall of ignorance. Once that wall of ignorance is built, so high you can't get over it, that there's no point. Like, I didn't even say anything. I just picked up my box and walked out. I wasn't mad. I was disappointed. Like, somebody told her, oh, those boxes can't get shipped this way. And then one day she was like, we don't take those boxes at all. And you know what, it worked? It worked, though, because I was so upset about the failure of 2 consecutive cameras and having to take time out of my day to go return said cameras. She made me forget all about it. So wide you can't get around. Amazon once tried to make me ship back a damaged 3S LiPo, which is against their policies. I had to argue with customer service for 2 months. That's awesome. Here's the beauty about Amazon. You could have put any, I'm not endorsing this, you could have put any battery in that box and sent it back, and they would have given you your refund. They don't know. They have no idea. You know what I mean? There's a lot of talk about how and why businesses remain successful, and Costco stands alone in the Costco model where they carry. If you run a business that carries product, you carry SKUs, right? Like just right here in front of you, there's a lot of SKUs because there are very few repeating items. So if I was to sell this as a store, it would not be manageable because there's already too many SKUs for me to try to manage and keep stock of, right? So Costco carries like nothing. Like a single Walmart store will have like 1 million SKUs in it, and that's not an exaggeration. They will be selling 1 million different things. Costco as a company across all of its stores globally has something like 125,000 SKUs, something like that. And anyone here who shops at a Costco knows that inventory kind of rotates, right? They have this item right now, and then when you come back 2 weeks later, it's gone, and you don't see it again for 9 months because whatever the run was at the factory, plant, facility, or whatever that makes that, Costco bought them all. And then once they sell them all, there are no more. So many things show up at Costco, get sold one time, and then you never see it again because they have supply chain issues that other companies don't have because they move such massive volume. And where was I going with the SKU thing? So I ordered one action cam, an Insta360 Go 3. And the best price on all of the internet was at B&H Photo Video. I'm a big fan of B&H Photo Video. I've ordered from them before. If memory serves, this camera right here is from B&H Photo Video. So they were really cool about it. Yeah, Aaron Schmidt scanned 800 SKUs today just in the frozen section. Yeah, supermarkets carry like 500,000. So I was excited about the Insta360 Go 3 because I just had to gaslight myself into remembering that I like cameras. And even if it's an action camera, and I'm not a huge action camera fan, they don't have the kind of versatility. I like lenses and interchangeable batteries and all those sorts of things. So there was a great price on the Go 3. Ordered one. It showed up. It was fully DOA. For those unfamiliar with it, the Go 3 is like the battery is like the camera itself is like Mr. Peanut sized. It's about that big. And it's magnetic on the back. And it can be operated outside of its camera pod. So it literally comes with a little lanyard you can put around your neck. You can slap it on there. It's magnetic. I could have made a little metal tab sticking up in every rig. Bink, stick the camera on it. Get in-car footage from anything. Stick it onto something. Get all kinds of cool B-roll. I was very excited about the Insta360 Go 3. It came. It was completely DOA. You could not power the unit on. And all the action pod would say upon plugging in is action battery below 10, charge immediately or whatever. Unplug it, dies. And I tried everything. I tried every cable I could think of. I tried every charger I could think of. I've got a laptop charger over here on the bench, 45 watt. I tried the 45 watt. That didn't work. Tried 5 volt, 2 amp, tried multi-blocks, tried a 5 amp output. Anyway, I tried everything. B&H Photo Video was very good about it. They were like, oh, not a problem. We'll send you the RMA. We'll send you a label. Box it up, ship it back. I boxed it up. I shipped it back. It's probably arriving in New Jersey sometime today. They were good enough that they sent out the replacement even before they received the return, which is solid. And I got the new one. I opened the box. I didn't unpack anything. I took the action pod out of the box and I pressed the power button and nothing happened. Plugged it into the charger, pressed the button. Action pod below 10. Please same exact thing. DOA directly out of the box. Can't link it to the app, doesn't show up on Bluetooth. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, I tried. So I said, okay, I guess we're done with that. Boxed it up, went through the whole issue with FedEx not taking. Insta360 cams work better when they include a paid promotion. So what I did is I just gave up, okay? When I started in college, here's an unnecessary segue. When I started in college, my major was in geology. I was going to be a geologist. Life would have been a very different path had I proceeded in geology, and I was having a great time. I loved geology and the earth sciences. I really did. And then I got to trigonometry. And it was as if someone had knocked me unconscious, transferred me to another country, and then everyone was speaking a different... Let's just call it Greece, because everyone was speaking Greek. And I could make not heads nor tails of it. And I tried it twice. I took trigonometry, intro to trigonometry, or whatever the numeric class code was. I took it twice. And I could not understand it. So what I did is I gave up. You know what I'm good at? Back in my day, when you took the SAT, you could get a 1600. 800 math, 800 verbal. I scored a 760 verbal and barely cracked 300 in math. Once they start taking the numbers out and putting the letters in, my brain switches off. So I gave in again, and I went down to order pickup at Best Buy, and I just bought a GoPro 13. Why fight it? Why fight it? Just buy the newest one. And I almost went cheap again. I was like, well, how much would I save if I buy an 11 or a 12? No, just buy the new one. Maybe they will have worked out as many problems as they can. Does it have interchangeable batteries? Yes. Can you take the cards out? Yes. Does it have a bunch of really, really overpriced accessories? Look at all the different lenses. Does it have all that stuff? Yeah. And you know what? If this one doesn't work, the Best Buy is right over there. So I got a degree in English and I bought a GoPro. I have no issues with GoPro. The only GoPro I've ever owned ran on alkaline batteries and shot up to 720p. So the GoPro that I had, I think it's still in the house somewhere. Goes way back. So I'm far less nervous about this one. Did you get all the lenses in the box? No, they're just telling you that yes, buy once, cry once. Well, it's not like the Go 3 was inexpensive. This cost $20 more. So I should have just done it this way to begin with. Lesson learned, I suppose. This is come on. Nope. Oh. Y'all knew, and nobody warned me. Nobody said anything. You have to flip the carriers. Oh, okay. I did algebra 1, 2 honors and 3, 4 honors easily the 2 years before that. Yeah. I used the DJI Action Pocket 3 and the Action 4, been super solid. The 13 should be good enough. Yeah, I have, like, because this is my fourth, technically, this is my fourth action camera purchase in 2 weeks. I'm not saying that I'm soured on the whole thing yet, but we're getting there. So what I wanted to say is, now that there's enough of you here, hey, who wants to see something absolutely horrible? You don't have a choice. Here it is. This is what we talked about on the live. I mean, on the Discord. That is a Stealth X. And look, just okay. No, this isn't good enough. We need to fill your whole frame. Okay, I think the side view is the most catastrophic. Like that's the worst. I just want to, yes, exactly. Calm body. It's, my God. Also, wait, no. Let's zoom back out. Just look at the price. Just for a second, just look at the price. It's $47. $47. And you note the rear of it is, I'm doing this thing. Here's what I'm doing. I'm pointing to where the body is on the screen. Look at this over here. It's like three little pieces. It's nearly as offensive as the fact that those one guys, Axial, sells replacement panels for a Capra for like $32. Yeah, it has to be three pieces. Oh, no. Anybody who doesn't think that body goes up near the top of the ugliest bodies, I don't know. That body is, as we would say, a tragic comedy. Well, everybody has one. Everybody's going to make an ugly one. Reefs was just like, we're going to make it ugly, and then we're going to Reefs tax it. We're going to Reefs tax it hard. $47. So it's... Oh, yeah. I mentioned that on the... I said it on the Discord. If anyone has actually watched that video, what was it about it specifically that made it awesome? Also, they claim, I was reading a little bit of the blurb. Let me see if I can see the blurb. The Reefs RC Plague, made from 1.2 millimeter polycarbonate material. And they capitalized polycarbonate. You need to capitalize Lexan, but you don't need to capitalize polycarbonate. It's just a word. The long rounded hood and smoothly contoured cab are key features that enhance the, and here it comes, body's ability to recover if you end up on the roof. You can attach the included round bedsides to further improve the likelihood of self-recovery. Custom mounting required and not included. Mind you, $47, and you can't attach the fenders when you take it out of the bag. Just should you buy one? Just FYI. Okay, I can't disagree with Todd. The Lloyd got a lot better when I cut two of them up and bolted them together to make Jolly Green's body, because the proportions of the Lloyd as it stood were just weird. Like, I don't think that the Gozer is ugly. I think it actually looks a lot like the real thing. God, somebody just said it. The name, the Utron. The Utron is awful. That is, and it's not even close, the ugliest thing that Element makes body-wise. Like, it's not even close. Proline is the Strike Force. It's not even close. So So yeah, I can understand why people would dislike the Lloyd, but I will never be able to understand if anyone tried to convince me that they think that the Plague is a good-looking body. Yeah, the Smack says the Gozer looks like the real thing. It's just that the real thing looks ugly too. Yeah, but these are where the customer is right in matters of taste. But in any comparison of any kind at all, the Plague might unseat the Strike Force for me. It might be that ugly. There we go. I should put more sauce on it, huh? If you squint, it's Erwin. It is just the 12%. I didn't want to buy. I didn't want to buy more gears. I would have I would have stuck with 12. I would have stuck with 12 because this is the gearbox for Lord Pennaby, and he's on 12. And baseline's on 12, so he's gonna be on 12 as well. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it softly raining outside. I don't get how you decide on getting a Plague over a Creep or a Power Wagon cab. I imagine step one, have some sort of sponsor or affiliate relationship with Reefs. That would be that's my theoretical step one. That is a body that I would never consider buying under any circumstances for any reason. It is a true tragic comedy. What is the new body you got with the long nose? And I forgot it. The Anvil? Either the Anvil or the J Concepts. Is it a cab or a full one? The Plague looks like something influenced by, and I never know if it's Geiger or Giger. I should I'm going right now. I'm tired of my own ignorance. How to pronounce HR. It is pronounced Heger. Swiss. He was Swiss. H.R. Heger. Heger. I will make some small effort to remember this. No guarantees. What do you think of the Lily body? The Lily body is top 5 ugliest bodies in the world. The Lily might as well be a 1960s Ferrari compared to the Plague, though. At least they named it right. It's the long, rounded hood and smoothly contoured cab. I'm not a huge Power Wagon guy either. You should build a rig with the J Concepts Cadillac Escalade. What has happened? Oh, I didn't tighten the slipper down. That's weird. I wonder if this case has got a dent in it. Because I can go like this. And then, okay, how many revolutions was that? And then, see the slipper not turning? Okay, and then if I go back the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it stops again. See, outputs aren't turning? That should not be possible. There's nothing in there to stop it from turning. Boy, building this was a bad idea. I am far too easily distracted. I've seen a lot worse than the Lily. Not many. And I think we can, I think there's no reason to hold our breath hoping that they make cool bodies. Because it's Jeeps and Toyotas. Okay, so this just rotates. There's nothing, there's no resistance at all. All the gears are lined up. Everything is good to go. Oh, I think I see it. Nope. That was just a clump of something. Anybody who's ever had an Element gearbox knows that when you go to put your gears in, when you go to put your screws in right here, as you can see that when you go to put your screws in right here, as you can see, the screws come up straight up from the bottom. And if you accidentally, and the skid, it's more importantly that the skid is deep on one side and shallow on the other. Hey, driver 8, that almost went by. Thank you so much. If you put the screws from this side and this side, they will punch through the case and leave a little dimple inside there. And sometimes they can make it stop rotating. Now, I don't see any evidence of that inside this case at all. So I do not know why this thing is being super weird. As soon as I put screws in it, it stopped turning. What? What in the what? What in the what? This is the kind of troubleshooting I love. Not a complaint, but all of a testament to how far away I am from the test of the planet. My stickers are still not here. Send me another email, and I will just send out another one. I think I got a little chunk of something out of there. I'll just send them again. It's thanks to the glory and might of the United States Postal Service. It's 3 stamps anywhere outside of America. So I just stick 3 stamps on it and I can send it anywhere. I don't have a problem shipping it again. There has to be something that was either in the grease that I put on it. Like something was in the tub of grease. That completely stops. There's nothing there. Yet, okay, if it's something in the grease, what the hell? What is happening? I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening. It's going to be one of those things, isn't it? I'm going to push through it. I'm going to put this thing back together at one point. It's just going to start working. Son of a bitch. This is the worst. I didn't do anything. Okay, but I haven't put any screws in it yet. This is the equivalent of I just turned it off and turned it back on about 5 times. Okay, first screw in. What's my favorite rig? Now, do you mean like of the named ones that live here? Or like, what's my favorite platform to build from? What do I have most builds based off of? Most of the people will know the answer. How do I fully scale setup for my TRX for Sport? Is it possible to buy a clipless body from the Traxxas lineup and have it fit the mods we did to the rails? I can't say for sure. I would assume so, because all of the Traxxas clipless fenders all mount in the exact same spot. You should be able to clip any Traxxas clipless body to the clipless points. Now, I can't say it 100% for sure because I've only ever had Traxxas Defenders and Sports. I've never had any of the Blazers, Broncos, any of that stuff, because they are way too expensive. Give me the name of that cab body. Where do I get it? What cab body? You'll say TRX4, but I'm pretty sure you have more VS410. No. Well, okay. Are we talking about VS4? Like, what do we mean when we say VS410? Because if we're talking about VS410 rails, I have two, the twins, and the only things riding on C channels. If we're talking VFDs or twins, then it's still TRX4. I would like to know the favorite named rig. Daphne the Sport. His favorite is the Vanquish H10 Origin. I do love me an Origin. Boy, howdy. Oh, hey, the cab body is the Anvil, yes. 5 free! Mike Bennett, Justin Mikesell, want to Rain, Azure Rain. Matrix 911. It still feels a little tight. It feels a little tight. But I feel like it'll get there. Oh, okay, here's what semi-completion of a thought from, like, whatever. Axles has got to be the Mias Nylon at this point. In terms of cost-benefit analysis, like, what axle do you get the most out of for the money you spend? Yeah, Mias Nylons. $80? Like, it's not even close. It really isn't close. Because you can get TRX4 portals, if you go through Jenny's, about $110, $115. But the fitment on a set of TRX4 portals are not quite what you're going to get. The Mias are going to fit a lot more places. Where do you get the plate to switch that gearbox to motor forward? Oh, the forward motor mount? No, it feels nice. But, like, there's no... I mean, I did put quite a lot of grease in it. The motor forward plate, JP Wirt, I don't remember if I saw his name in here. If I did, I forgot. He designed those. I need to get another one, actually. But he designed those, and he sent me one, and then I want to say I had one done through Send Cut Send. What is the most common axle in the Canyon fleet? The most common axle is... Oh, we had it written down somewhere. We went around and we counted. And I want to say it's TRX4. I think TRX4 just edges out nylons, and right behind nylons is, well, I haven't checked since we gave some stuff away, but F10 straights. We're like third place, F10 straights. Oh, so, okay. All right, look. I'm not being anti-globalist. Here's the deal. I need to clear space on the rack that's right up here. I need to clear space on this, right? See how we got some empty spots in there? I need to clear space on the rack, but nothing coming off of the rack is particularly valuable or rare or anything like that. I just need to free space. If you want a set of what I'm going to set down over here, so the ultimate value Canyon rig is Mias axles, TRX4 shocks, custom rails and links, Fusion SE, and a Stealth X. Yeah, except replace the custom rails and links with a Mias Gold Flake and the RC Lions link set, and then you'll be right there. So I'm not giving away anything up there. The man from Spain will know kind of where this is going. So during the last, these are his, as a matter of fact. If you're one of the rare few that watch Wheel and Wednesday, the XHX pins betrayed the Rattler terribly, And I sort of think, so in the entirety of the fleet, there are no vehicles running Proline Predator. And there are also not going to be any vehicles running Endura S5, because if they can't handle the heat in February, they're not going to work the rest of the year. So XHX pins, and then you know what's right next to those. XHX pins, and recently featured on the test. It's a damn shame, because I like how they did. S5 Swamp Claws. So those are all S5. That's why they're going. If you want inserts, you can go out and buy some. So basically what I'm saying is, if you're in Europe or Australasia, please don't ask me for these. They're not worth it. They're about $28 a set to buy, shipped from AliExpress or directly from Endura. I would like to try to save people some money here and there. All of the surplus funds from the money that was donated to help ship tapas to Spain, that got depleted last Saturday after the 10K giveaway, because I spent about $170 at the post office. Oh, so those of you that were here last week, what do you think was the most expensive thing to ship? Then, okay, if somebody said that they wanted these before and I forgot, these are the base camp stock Wild Peaks. They're useless. I will not spend 1 penny to ship these. If you want to send me money to ship these to you, I will do it. But, driver 8 with the first guess. Hey, Chuck. So, if somebody mentioned before that they wanted those terrible tires, remind me. You know, I don't think anybody's going to be clamoring for Axial Falcon Wild Peaks. Charles said he wanted these? Oh, they're so bad. Yeah, Brorb is in the part of the world for S5. Where I live is not for S5. Bet the motor was the most expensive. Yeah, it basically was. The motor cost $1 more than the next most expensive. I shipped the rig in an uncut Factor Meals box, which is 16 by 12 by 16, I want to say. And it was right in the middle. There were 2 that were cheaper and 2 that were more expensive. The tires to Canada were $1 less than the motor and ESC to Sweden, and they'll probably both get there at the same amount of time. Yes, Element has their own motor flip mount now. It does. That is true. Now, can you buy the pieces? Same story. As you can tell, these have never even touched the ground. FMS Super Marshers, they're terrible. These kind of go down in... Yeah, I would put these over these, maybe. We'll do like this. They're going down in terms of capability. And then the last but not the least, they're real. They're real. Oh geez. I don't have a purpose for them, nor do I have a place for them. So. Oh, those wouldn't go down there. No, they would. Yeah, I'd put them like that. Anyway, so if you live far away, yeah, I am doing the absolute hard sell on these. Well, we do have the skewers / pit, and I will literally drill through these plastic wheels with a Forstner bit so that I can stick them on a skewer, because I mean they're terrible. Look at everybody battling for the showdowns. Yeah, like I say, you're gonna have to cough for shipping on these. I just need the rack space to put tires away. And y'all can thank the do you have a number for that part? Like I say, I don't think Elements sells those parts individually. Or if they do, I don't know about it. Wheel of names for the showdowns. Ugh, don't make me fire up the wheel of names. I'm already so tired. I'm just so tired. You ever wake up just tired? Yeah, JDA 79, you don't want any of these. Yeah. But, NorCal, any of the particularly colder climes will do. I don't really have any beef with S5. It just doesn't, it's like Predator. I mean, this is inexpensive Predator is what, you know what? They would work amazing today. It's about 60 degrees and wet outside. If it's Wheel of Names and the loser gets them, like we just keep spinning the wheel until it comes down to the last name, they would get the Super Marshers because they're definitely the worst of this. I've been tired for about a month. I've been tired. I feel like I've been tired for the entirety of the 21st century. I don't need them. Y'all can fight over them. I don't remember how I put this together. I just know that it's not going to work. I've convinced myself that it's not going to work. So now we have to take it apart. And if I start doing it now, I'll remember to finish it later. Hey! Jeff, then in quotes, Jeff. Sloth Squatch is back on. Quick Ren is back on. Toe Shifter's back on. I've seen a lot of these names in the subs before. We had a pretty typical week. I want to say about 50 rolled off. I want to find some fake Rock Beast level class 1s. Swapped a Mama Max and I want to roast some tires. Some of the, not all, but some of the, they look like KLRMs. Some of those are really bad. Alaska would do for the XHXs. How to? You send me an email that says I would like them, and then I would ship, like any place with a United States zip code, I can put these in. I can ship them postal service. At most, a set of tires is going to go about $10. I almost said $7.50, but the postal service has been forced to raise its rates like every 45 minutes. So yeah, it would have been $7.50 about 10 years ago, and 10 years before that, it would have been $4.25. Yeah, the amount of money that I've spent with the U.S. Postal Service, and I mean just while doing this stuff. Hey, a little kick for the trouble you had today. Double coffee drink funds. Yeah, buddy, yeah. I woke up looking forward to that coffee drink. And I have, so almost everybody here's green. David Hiscock won't see it. Sfax won't see it. Rudy won't see it. But I will have there'll be a little short, I'm not messing around this time. There will be a little short member video up somewhere in or around the weekend where we test the GoPro. I'm going to get Bruce ready to go, and we're going to go out and we're going to drive around the course out back a little bit, and we're going to test to make sure everything works. I'm not going to drive out to flood control and drive around for an hour and a half and then find out that the footage doesn't work, because that's how we have to do that. Is coffee drink code for whiskey? No, the coffee drink is literally a coffee drink. We have a place called the Coffee Clatch that I call them slightly caffeinated milkshakes. I don't want the tires. I just want them stickers. I sent an email. You will get them. You will get them. I try to do all sticker and other requests like that. I try to do them over the weekend, like to have them ready by Monday, because my kid doesn't have my kid doesn't have class on their weekend is Sunday and Monday. So Monday we try to get filming in. I try to get my packages moved out. Friday is my lay around day, and because I do this, and Monday is my working day. This week, Monday was short. I was only involved in stuff for 12 hours. How's that Costco coming along? Costco opens March 8th. Costco released a little like press release. It says they're opening March 8th. Mr. C, would you recommend the FMS FJ40? All the way. All the way. Like a lot. As a rock crawler, absolutely not. I'm just curious, what's the go-to order at the coffee shop? They make a thing called the Patio Special. It is basically a milkshake with espresso in it, but my God. We haven't been back to a Starbucks or anything since they opened the Clatch local to us. We used to drive all the way to San Dimas, which is about 50 miles away. If you're willing to drive 50 miles to get a coffee drink, I will have to go to the San Bernardino Hospitality Lane Costco one more time. One more time. I will have to go middle of this month, middle of February, to get the usual goods. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, never again. Not ever. Bill, let me tell you, that Costco is technically within walking distance. It is 1 mile from my house. If you go up on top of the driver's stand out back on the course, you can see the Costco. It's right over there. That is just far enough to where Costco won't interfere with my everyday life, but I can go buy Costco priced gas 1 mile from my house. And their gas station opens at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm all for it. Unless Bill means he doesn't want a Costco within walking distance, because then he'd always be at the Costco. In which case, I'm with you. I've been looking at buying a cargo bike, so I don't even have to drive a car to the Costco. I'll just ride my bike down there. That would be amazing. So, after no deliberate... Are you getting a Costco gas station? Heck yeah! How much would Costco gas run in? I just bought gas at the other Costco, $3.95, which, ask a Californian, ask a Southern Californian if $3.95 is pretty good for gas. Pretty good. It's pretty good for gas. The Chevron, which is, okay, so we're going to do it with tires. So this is the Costco right here. This is the Costco gas station right here. And then right across the street, this is the street. And then right across the street, there's a Chevron. This is a Chevron. The Chevron is just under $5 a gallon. It's I want to say it was $4.94 when I drove by it this morning. $1 a gallon more expensive than the gas station that's opening across the street. Now, I understand. I saw a YouTuber do it. There's a gas station in downtown LA where the gas is like $7.50 a gallon. And he's like, why would people go here? And he interviewed people that went there, and they were like, oh, well, I'm in a hurry. It was on my way. I just stopped, and I'm like, the economy must be doing better than people are letting on, because I'm not going and spending almost double the cost for a gallon of gas. It'll make it. The car would have to be going blah, blah. I've run out of gas before. I haven't run out of gas since the year 2000. The year 2000 was the last time I ran out of gas. And that was because the first tank of gas I ever had in my Honda, I didn't know how small the gas tank was. It had a 10.9 gallon gas tank. So I ran out of gas in Fontana, California. Oh, EVs over here, Brorb, don't come to California. It will not save you any money owning an EV in the state of California, because charging stations that don't charge, like a Tesla supercharger, is going to cost you about the same as it would to fill a car up with gas, because they are so common here. Teslas are everywhere. They lost their stickers, the HOV lane stickers, like the new Teslas don't have the HOV lane sticker, because Teslas are everywhere. So now there's no longer any, they're not giving you any little special bonuses for buying an EV, because everybody already bought one. This should move, right? Did I miss a screw? Sure did. So, oh yeah, we have an Indian casino up. It's not Morongo. It's the one past Agua Caliente. Agua Caliente's got a gigantic gas station, and their gas is even cheaper than Costco. I think because they don't have to pay tax. There's some tax they don't have to pay, like the local tax or the state taxes. Some sort of tax they don't have to pay. But that gas station's like an hour away. Pro Raptor, Irvine is Teslas everywhere. It's insane. Yeah, the closer you get to the coast, the more Tesla it gets. Stu Nod, this is Lord Pennaby. He was never even going to make it to the rocks in his configuration as configured, because of the video that I made for Sunday. I could tell Lord Pentabee was not going to work. And the video that I made for Sunday, Lord Pentabee might not even end up in Element Rails. I'm hoping that he gets to stay in Element Rails. But at this point, it's not guaranteed. Oh, yeah, that's why I can't remove it. Still haven't had any takers on the Proline VW crawler body. Yeah. I mean, that body is awesome. But people, you know, I can't explain how people spend their money. We're going to have to redo all these links. The gas prices in California is like 50% tax, and where that money goes, nobody knows. It's the US aid thing all over again. It's now coming to light that, and no, we're not talking politics, we're only talking government corruption. People don't know where any of the money goes. Discretionary spending, as they call it. So we're just going to pull Lord Pennaby apart. Oh, he needs this box disassembled anyway because it won't fit on his sliders. That's not the right size driver. People, they are the worst. State to federal transfer to support other states, I bet. Yeah. Ugliest thing ever made was the Tesla truck. There's a, what is his name? He does TikTok and Instagram. Sturworks. He's like a mechanic, and he has a bit where he's like, oh, look at that, oh, Saab 900. And then he'll cut to just an image of a Tesla truck, and he goes, ugh! And now my wife does that every time she sees a Cybertruck. And here's what makes it better. But wait, there's more. It gets better. My wife did not know that the Cybertruck was a Tesla. She just thought it was the ugliest thing she'd ever seen. We were going to the aforementioned Coffee Klatch, and there was one parked right across, but they'd had it painted matte black. And she goes, ugh, I hate those things. And that one's black. It looks like a dumpster. And I go, what? You mean the Tesla? And she goes, it's not a Tesla over there. She goes, I mean that gigantic ugly thing. And I go, the Cybertruck? That's a Tesla. And she goes, well, that almost explains it. So yeah, my wife hated the Tesla truck. It's like the test, right? It's the test. Is she only after my money? That it's like that test. She hated the Cybertruck before even knowing that it was a Tesla. So she didn't hate it just because of an anti-Tesla thing. She hates it because it's hideous. My thing about the Cybertruck is, to anyone out there who's never seen one in person, it is enormous. It's like the size of an F-350. It's humongous. And it looks even more like a crude illustration when you see it in person than it does like just in images on the internet. It's really wild, that thing. And I tell people I live in the desert, and I do. And we don't live in, well, this is Southern California. So I try to say things like we don't live in a place where a bunch of wealthy people live. It's Southern California. Like, you kind of have to live here, don't you? But there's way more Cybertrucks in my local area than I would think. Yeah, the Tesla Semi does look cool. It looks very Matrix. I don't want a government-controlled car driving me anywhere. Fair. That was my thing. Okay. I know we're not discussing politics, but I will go this far. I will go this far. No matter who you are, no matter what your beliefs are, over a long enough time frame, we all become libertarians. We all become libertarians. It's not about alliance or allegiance. I just sent this as a message to someone on Instagram. Two of my favorite quotes about politics. The first one from Harry Truman, where he said, "Show me a wealthy politician, and I'll show you a crook." And he's not wrong. And then the other one is, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help," which was Ronald Reagan. I agree with both of these statements. You don't get independently wealthy while working in government, and the government is here to help the government. That's why my problem with politics is that everyone turns it into partisan politics. And the government, think Rage Against the Machine of 20 years ago. The government is not here to help you under any circumstances. And if they say that they are, it's even worse. So I like an electric car. I do. I like it as an idea. I like it as a concept. I like it on paper. I have a whole bunch of electric cars in this building right here. If I bought an electric car today, I wouldn't be able to charge it at my house. They would tell me not to charge it during the day or at night because the grid can't handle it. I'd only be able to charge it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't want that. I don't want that. It isn't even about control. It's about government intervention. I don't want the government intervening, is what it is. I've become more libertarian. The government will tell you, you can't build a shed in your yard above this size. Who says? And for what? Like, why? Why can't I build a shed to put my lawnmower in? I don't, like, why? Why is that? You can buy one. You can go down to the Costco. You can buy a shed that is bigger than what the local government allows. Oh, back to crawlers, please. And one last thing. The more local the government gets, the worse it gets. Oh my God. If you think corruption in the big government is bad, whatever you do, either do or don't look into your local, the government of your locality. Oh my. I live in a tiny town. It's got 50,000 people in it. That's tiny for California. I live in a town of 50,000 people, and more than one member of our city council, former members of our city council, has gone to prison. And this is a fake town. This is a suburb. What is the name of that expensive H10? The Origin. H10 Origin. Yeah, see, Norway can do EVs because, I don't mean this offensively, they're tiny. I was just watching a Yogscast video earlier, and they were talking about how people confuse two of the members because their voices sound very similar. And the one guy, Simon, he goes, "Oh well, we're born pretty far apart." And he goes, "Yeah, how far do you think?" And he goes, "Well, I'm from Devon, and you're from Gloucestershire, which is like what?" He said about 2 hours, take 2 hours to drive that far. And I'm sitting over here thinking in American. And I'm like, guys, guys, 2 hours. That's Santa Monica. Like, for me to drive to Northern California is like 9 hours. And I haven't left California yet. It's all perspective, I reckon. Now, am I going to have to drill holes? Just one. Just one. Where does this go to? It goes right there. Okay, that's as far as we can go forward then, right there. We have to drill one hole. Well, we don't really have to drill any holes. Let's not drill any holes. Every town in the UK has their own accent. That's true. That's true. You can get away with a lot more in other countries, especially when they're smaller than the state of Tennessee. Yeah. Have you ever had a servo that is constantly twitching while the truck is powered and the truck is on a stand with the tires off the ground? Yes. What has happened is I like to say that the servo has developed a little bit of MS. So it's got a little bit of the twitch. And the problem is, what it is I'm going to bet that if you set it down and like give the wheel a little jiggle, it'll stop. What that is the potentiometer that is trying to find center. Center on that potentiometer has walked a little bit. We have a couple servos here that have started to develop a little bit of that servo MS, but it doesn't impact performance in any way because if you're not on center, then it's fine. If you're giving it input, it knows what's happening. The little jitter, it's not going to hurt anything. I live in a village of 110 people, and 2 of us are RC people. I have trucks, vans, 2 crawlers, and 2 are on the build. Wayne has 40 plus cars. Everyone else thinks we're nuts. A village of 110 people does not compute. Cut those front tabs off the skid. I was going to go to I was going to go to right, like, so there. I think it will mount without cutting, but if I go any further than that, I can't attach. How do you attach the upper link? Because then the upper link would want to line up with this hole. Do you bolt it from the inside? What setting is it to slow the AG? Oh, servo's down. I'm guessing you have an SA75 CVSW V2. Yeah, they're really, really fast. Here in Illinois, we have a governor wing in our prison. The drive from southern Norway to north is roughly 1,500 miles. Well, that would get you through Oregon, I think. And what is the half height ago? Oh, it probably corrected AGFRC to slow the age servos down. It depends on your radio. Some radios have control to slow. We'll have steering expo. You can turn the expo down. Yeah, same as San Diego to Seattle. There you go. I have a servo that will pause at full lock sometimes, usually when steering back and forth quickly. Any idea what is going on? I would think latency. Upper link to that lower brace hole on the kick-up. Oh, here? It's okay with the lower link with the upper link that's short? I've never run the link that short. Yeah. Robert Simpson with the relevant question: how far is the drive from west to east? That worked perfectly on my TRX4 axles. I might have to try it. Well, yeah. Rut Rider points out latency is the speed of reaction to your. Where's the radio? Right, is the speed of a reaction to the input. Like if you're going like this, but if the speed of the motor in the servo is slower than you're turning this, you're gonna get that. I'm doing camera one thing again. You're gonna get that hitch. Or it could be mechanical. Mechanical is the most likely, in which the servo horn in one direction or the other is getting to the point where it's starting to what I call flip over. So when the horn goes up and the link is here, when it gets to a certain point, it's gonna want to flip over and go past. So check the length of the servo horn as well. Like watch the servo horn when it throws, particularly on lay down servos. Like I notice it more on like servo on axle because the servo's laid down, that you can almost get to where the horn is past 90 degrees. Yeah, if the servo horn's too short. Stephen Lopez just became a member. Deeper down the crawler hole I go. Yep. 300 miles east to west. You can get a program card for the AGF and turn down the servo power draw, and that will slow it down. Yeah, the AGFRC, the SA75 V2 is the only servo that I've found that I think is like too fast. So if you're mounting, okay, I'm asking him specifically. If he's mounting the upper link to here, which is quite a bit shorter, how far forward are you going? Are you going all the way up to there? So cutting the tab all the way off and bolting the skid on from the inside? Am I understanding that correctly? Because if I can get the skid that far forward, I'll be happy. What holes line up? Yeah. I mean, that would work. Is that what we're doing? I've had quite a few RTRs when I've upgraded the servo, it will brown out or overload the BAC and the stock ESC. Yeah, a lot of stock ESCs are 1 amp. I'm not saying that I'm a proponent of the Traxxas 2075X, but the 2075X is running off of a speed control with a 1 amp BEC and a radio that requires a special incantation to set endpoint adjustments. So there's a reason that those servos die. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm looking at the aforementioned pictures on Discord. Okay, yeah. So he went all the way forward. All right. I can do that. Now, yeah, that'll still work there. And then I guess I can go through there. I did. Will a capacitor help with brownout? Capacitors really only, like, they're there for spikes, but it won't hurt, but a more powerful BEC is what's really going to fix it. Do you think the double cardan axles would fit the TRX with a little cutting and grinding? I don't know. I don't know. This is a Sense Cam. They're way over expensive, and I don't necessarily recommend them. But it's from Amazon. If you see a servo in here, there's a 95% chance it was from Amazon. He used a flat skid. Wonder if I have a flat skid that will line up. Because if I have a flat skid that lines up, I don't have to worry about this thing. No, I don't. Not even close. No, just generics. Yeah, he also has a flat skid. Yeah, external BEC, they're not that expensive. You can get that. There's that 8 amp one on Amazon. They're like $20. If you're spending more than $20 on a BEC, just buy a direct power servo. I mean, you can get them for $50. And that will solve all the problems. And then you'll have a servo that you can run on something else. Yeah, Driver 8 slowly converted all of his servos to direct power. Yeah, I run more direct power than not, I think. I don't know. I haven't gone around and counted them, but I feel like I do. So we can get all that way forward. And that upper link will only shorten. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Although if no, I want to go that far forward. I gotta see where it lines up though. Okay. All right. We'll just cut one. We'll cut one ear off. Hobbywing 10 amp is $20 to $25. Yeah, there you go. Remember using 4 AA's to power receiver and servos before BEC existed? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. There's plastic flying everywhere. Pro model or servos actually recommend using a small 2S LiPo for direct power. That's a third option, honestly. That is a third option. And it's, you know what? I mean, aside from a little bit of what on the outside feels like unnecessary complexity, I mean, this is an ancient 2S 1300. Look at that little guy. They're half this size now. Yeah, you could definitely just run a direct power servo just off of a LiPo. Then every time you turn your rig on, you have to plug 2 things in. We've had to do worse. Nope. Oh. Okay. All right. Just need a drill. Short length drill bits, shallow depth bits are the best. I love a shallow depth bit. If I ran a receiver pack, I'd for sure forget to charge the pack when I was in the middle of nowhere about to crawl. 100%. That's how I do it on the SCX6. The servo gets a dedicated battery. Yeah, but the SCX6 is as big as a little red wagon. So you can store everything on there and then not worry about it. Let us lesser thoughts. Now that my rig had the fire and melted down, what build would you could you recommend? It depends. Like what are you looking for? My two starters would be either start off of a TRX4 Sport and build something out of that, or start with a Mias Gold Rush and build a flat rail off of that. Or third option, you can get a generic skid or something like a fake OD3 with a skid, and you can get a set of carbon rails for like a 10 Pro or other carbon Amazon chassis, starting as low as about $20. Pair it with the axles of your choice, whether they be straights, whether they be big offset Capras, Mias nylons. How scratch do you want to do your build? Will you be testing the new stubby 10-pole end runner? I hadn't really planned on it because it doesn't make any sense to me. Are you running the shocks like that for any reason? Don't know if you already said why. Oh, because when I set him up, I put one set on right side up and one set upside down. And for no other reason. Usually, no, that's not true. That's not true. You can't run the fronts upside down. The tie rod hits the shocks. I would ordinarily run them all upside down, and you can if you're using TRX4 shocks or Chavtex because they're skinnier, but the head on these is so fat that they hit the tie rod. See, I did remember. How do you feel about the Proline Hyrax? I feel like if you already own them, I hope that someone gave them to you. The Hyrax was never a very good crawling tire to begin with, which boggles the mind as to why they keep cloning them. But you will get better results on the rocks from virtually any other tire. Right now, S4 comp pins, which are not the XHX pins, but the S4 pins, are on Amazon right now for $20. $22 after tax if you live in California. Order some of those, put them on, and go, and then you will just throw your Hyrax into a ravine. The Hyrax is a pretty decent trailing tire, though. I was running those before the Trepidors. So running shocks upside down, any benefits other than helping with leakage? I have a video on this. Surprisingly, the CG actually moves down noticeably when running the shocks upside down. Like more than I would have thought. Like it moved the CG down like, I want to say it was like 7 or 8 millimeters just by flipping the shocks upside down. So there's really no drawbacks to running shocks upside down. Because, as you mentioned, they're going to leak oil more slowly. It moves weight down. As long as there isn't a clearance issue, then run them upside down. Oh, if you have something like a big bore, the only way to run big bores upside down is you have to order the special rod ends that fit them from Deluxe. Deluxe and a couple others make them. But those shocks date back to a time when nobody thought about running them upside down. It exchanges sprung weight for unsprung. Yeah. Well, no, the other benefit is that they leak out a lot more slowly. And, but some shocks will develop an air pocket. I think TRX4 shocks are actually a little bit smoother if you run them right side up, because as they do start to lose oil over time, and as the oil starts to break down over time, they can get a little notchy feeling, because TRX4 shocks, because their bore is so small and there's actually so little oil in there, they truly are emulsion shocks where the oil and the air have to be thoroughly mixed before they act right. That's why when you first set a TRX4 down on the ground, sometimes the suspension just won't compress, like it doesn't even sit down. It's because the shock oil and the air have completely separated. And then you just cycle it. Would you believe it? According to Boom Slang, it has very little effect which way you run them. I mean, performatively, like in terms of like how does the rear damp relative to the front, it's basically exactly the same. So in that aspect, he's correct. From a perspective of it makes no difference, well, it obviously does make a difference. If you have a scale, you can determine where the difference exists. Any thoughts on boom slang suspension making a deluxe shock into internal spring? I think it's dumb as hell because that is a bladdered shock. That's a non-emulsion shock. So the only place to put the spring would be between the piston and the body of the shock. So the spring has to be here, right here, because it can't be on this side because it'll hit the bladder and put holes in the bladder. How do you run Desert Lizards upside down with the weird upper pivot ball? They usually fit. And Desert Lizards use well, you can do this, which I've done. And if you haven't done this, where's my box of Desert Lizards? They use a standard size ball in the top. You can put any other ball in there that you want. It doesn't have to be the weird ones. You take out the bladder. Hey, then buy a different shock. Don't debladder a bladdered shock. What axles would you recommend to replace Element stock axles? I'm about to throw the towel in on these Spark axles. I mean, an Element axle is just an AR-44. Do you still have your Element internals? Because if you do, buy some Diamond Pros. Buy these. These are Diamond Pros. Diamond Pros are my favorite axles. I would run them everywhere, but they don't make a portal, and they only make one width. But Diamond Pros are great. If you don't have your parts, I got that chassis I was talking to you about, my friend designed, about to get sent off to you. Oh, that's been at least a year. Axial Pro, yeah. I mean, that is the highest price point that I can reasonably allow for a set of axles is the 10 Pro portals. They're so good. They're so good. I mean, wow. The level of adjustability, the full modularity of them, change out all the pieces individually. Oh, then Psycho Garage, then I'm thinking of a different chassis because I got a message on Instagram. It has to be coming up on 2 years now, where guys asked if I wanted to test a chassis, and then it went away. Can't you put a portal box on the spliced AR-44s? Yeah, but aftermarket portals are, I mean, they're a thing, but I never actually own the Element axles. Oh. Jeez. Then I'd say Mias. Throw some portals on it. Stealth X with Mias, if you want an excuse to run 4S, you just got it. Because Stealth X and Mias is going to get you, jeez, 80 to 1, 85 to 1. Yeah, you get a lot of gear reduction. Wait, what hole am I drilling? That's how we do that. It just needs to mount the slider. Yeah, good luck finding the portal boxes. Okay, like if you're okay with spending that amount of money, if you're okay with $160 for a pair of axles, which, I mean, I realize, like the Mias isokinetics cost that much, Rhinos cost more than that, right? If you're okay with $160 for a pair of axles, and the fact that you're probably going to have to go drop $100 on a servo because well, you can get away with a full height, but you're really better off with a half height on the pros. They're so good. They're so good. I ordered some desert lizards for my Revolt Tsunami build. Nice. Build the Executioner. Oh, I meant to ask that. Somebody will probably have to remind me, unless I remember to do it in between finishing this and going to buy coffee. I need to put up a poll because we've got a number of builds backing up here that like haven't been started. Builds that don't require custom cut chassis rails. I can kind of only work on one of those at a time. We have assembly builds, and it was in Member Show. I realized that after having put lightened gears and stuff in so many VFDs, the only thing I was missing was the middle shaft right in there to build a VFD. I mean, it doesn't have a slipper, but when you order the parts bag, they don't send you. It's just the slipper eliminator one. It's the only one they get with the pin. I don't think there's enough meat there to attach a slipper to it, so just deal with it. But yeah, I've got more than one Zoku chassis not built yet. I've still got the Injora Capra with the H10s, which I might change the axle on that. I might want to run that on straight axles. We've got, of course, the Executioner. I think everybody's just going to vote for the Executioner, which is fine because it'll be the easiest one to build. Does anyone know which proper axles will fit on the Cross AT NT4 trucks? There's really not any gear reduction in the Cross portal box. Yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea. My experience with Cross is minimal. Wouldn't it be the dream world if we could just put the back links on the front and the front links on the back? Oh, yeah. 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 That skid moved way forward. That is exactly what I wanted. Nice. 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 Don't know if I should do an 8 or a 10. 8 or a 10. Did you get a carbon Executioner? Yes. What size pivot balls are the best to have on hand to cover most applications? I would say, for me, the ones that get used the most are 5.7 by 7.5, which are Element, almost all axial. Traxxas is more, that uses more 5.7 by 7s. But you can buy them in bundles or in bags. SOR Graphics, I want to say, does like a 25 pack. They're what I run. Well, let me see. What am I the most out of? So 5.7 by 7.5 and 5.7 by 7 are the most common. I run out of these most often. Every other size. The old Traxxas 5.7 by 6s, I got them by the bajillion. And then the 5.8 by 7 is really popular with the knockoff folks. So we have a lot of those. 5.8 by 7.5, I don't see as much. Most, like if you buy a bag of, like if you buy links, they will come with those 5.8 by 7s. And that's what all those are, and I'll punch them all out and throw the ends away. Because the hollow balls are fine. And if you have some 5.8s on hand, when your rod ends start to wear out, you can take the 5.7s out, put 5.8s in them, and stretch some more life out of them. I already got a low pro server. That's no worries. Thanks for the suggestions. Yeah, you will love 10 Pro portals. What are your thoughts on the Rhino RCW1? It doesn't look like that big of a change from the UA1 V2. Like geometry wise, link placement wise, like if they did big changes to it, they're not readily apparent to me. Maybe the bones for our next build think of 2.2s. If you're going to go 2.2s, I would say get Capra axles. Offset Capras. You can get away with the cheap ones. The $100 ones from Amazon. That's what Wolverine runs. He has no problems. Whoa. Oh, hey. I just realized it's only the shocks. The shocks are the only thing holding that on. Exo got his carbon own executioner. He's been running a 3D printed chassis. Yeah. I'll probably eventually make my own chassis and bought that one to play around with first. How is the data collection for the website going? Oh, forgot about it entirely. Any Axelman recommendations for a new builder looking into a 1.9 mini build? What do you mean by mini? Be more specific about mini. Axial grease is terrible. I have no argument for that. We're going to have to, first off, we have to get the sides on so that we can sit the body on it so that we can reset the wheelbase. Because we're building to a body for the second time. Yeah. He keeps forgetting, I keep forgetting. I haven't experimented with money. Wait, okay. David Hiscock is going to bed. Yeah. Added the website to a CV. Why not? You should. That'll motivate you to make it look better. Put more stuff on it, because then it will impact you directly. I forget the website exists. I'm not gonna lie. I completely forget that it exists. What did I miss? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's balling. Boop. I guess it probably would have been faster and easier to disconnect that from the very beginning. Here we are. Yeah, UTB 18. We call it the UTB 12. It is far closer to 12th scale than it is to 18th. I don't think it qualifies as an 18th scale at all. Seeing as the TRX4M is pretty close to 18th scale. Have I shared here that I'm going to work for L'Oreal for at least a year as part of my studies? It's 1 year of full study and 1 year working in a company. Neat. I know what they do. I don't have to guess. I know the Tamiya Classic 1/12 body is mostly fit. Oh, so you're talking like real small wheelbase. I know Boom Racing makes some really narrow axles. I don't know if I would actively recommend UTB 18 axles, aka UTB 12 axles, unless you were intending on building like a full UTB 18 thing. If the boss forgets the website exists, I can do whatever I want with it, right? I mean, to a point. To a point. It'll be useful one day. I've seen websites for places that have been around for more than a decade and are still under construction. So I'm not in a hurry. You don't need to be in a hurry. Yeah, Hugo's going to be a makeup tester. They can't use rabbits anymore. So they're going to use people. They're going to spray foundation in his eyes. Because whatever we do, we can't change the placement of these because the body has to go on that, which means I need to dig another box out. Oh no. Oh no, it's all turning against him. And nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong. All right, I'm moving these out of the way. So hopefully some of these will leave. I don't have room for them on the rack anymore. I also have drawers full of them, and I don't have room for them in there either. Don't let me forget to take that stuff out of the box at some point. Do you have use of a 313 K10 two-piece body? I mean, I could. Bodies, motors, and servos are the things that exist in between that stop non-stop builds. It would just be non-stop builds. But I run out of those things. Let's slip that in. Ken bought Hyrax. Ken bought Hyrax after already owning Tusks. That is a mistake you will not make again. The Hyrax is not good. The Hyrax isn't getting anywhere near a Tusk. I'm sure you've all seen the RC Girl video of the H10 optic. Really nice build. I have not. I'm not saying that I actively avoid H10 content, but I'm certainly not out there looking for it. Yeah, what K10? Yeah, had the Lord's body been painted? No, it hasn't been out of the box. Yeah, I have had passed through the doors more than enough optics. I was underwhelmed from the start, and I realized well, it took me some time to realize that it's Taylor Swift's music. It's not necessarily bad. It's just not for me. And also, in the same vein, pop music just means popular. It doesn't mean that it's good. So the H10 optic, and by extension the Origin, are definitely pop music. They're popular. It doesn't mean they're for me, and it doesn't mean that they're good. You have to accomplish a minimum level of performance, or alternately, you have to fully pretty pass. And the optic does not perform well enough for what it looks like, nor does it look good enough for how it performs. So there you go. I get this idea that it's something I've been complicit in the creation of, which is the notion that some people have the foolhardy notion that I hate everything. I don't hate everything, but I also don't think everything gets an auto pass, because manufacturers are, not to wax too French here, but they're shitting in a bowl and calling it soup. And if people keep buying it and people keep taking it, they're going to get what they're going to get, and then they won't be able to get upset. So the H10, from a marketing perspective, is absolutely brilliant, because it is not a competent performer in stock format. You need to spend money on it to make it even remotely capable. And I don't want to sound like the guy who hates everything, but every time I see another picture from the Vanquish Facebook group about check out my sick H10 build, bro. I don't want to tell these people, well, I kind of do. I don't want to tell these people it looks just like everybody else's. Congratulations. You've built something that exists 200 times over. And now you can get one shiny that's made out of metal. The optic is aimed at people that will spend $1,500 every year on a new TV. God, that is so right. And I'm not, again, we're gonna mention soup again. I'm not shitting on people because they're spending a lot of money. It's not my money. You can spend it on whatever you want. That's fine. Where it does stick in me craw. Jonathan, does every RTR need a lot of upgrades to be capable? No. I think Sandy established that you can build something for less than the purchase price of an optic RTR that will be quite capable, and you can upgrade it at your leisure. The H10 optic needs modifications directly out of the box just to be relatively functional. The tires don't fit. The gear reduction is garbage. It can't go slow. The links are the wrong lengths for something that is designed to crawl. So it's a trail buggy. That's fine. Let's say that it's a trail buggy. It needs to look a lot better than it does. The interior is disgustingly generic. And on and on and on and on and on. So, dual dig 4-wheel steer optic. I mean, yeah, sure. I think I've seen the IFS optic. That actually looked like a lot of work because I bet that Twin Hammers front end begrudgingly went in there. Like it wasn't like, oh yes, I'm going to bolt right up. I think that guy had to fight it into that vehicle. And if you've got to work hard to do something that no one else is interested in doing, I kind of think you're doing it right. H10 is a pro builder kit, you know. Yeah. It's only for the pro builders. And I'm not a pro builder, so that's where I miss out, I think. That's where I miss out. And I'll give them this for sure. No question. The optic certainly looks better than a plague. So that's bonus points back in the column for the optic. I think a guy said he had to make his own skid and swap to a 3-gear. Yeah, I believe it. That's why somebody, it was either in a live or it was in a comment, said that he would put a VFD or a twin in everything. And I'm like, I don't know. The VFD twin is too similar in layout to a TRX4 gearbox in that you have to run offset pumpkin. You have to. Changing the gear ratio inside the gearbox, you'll spend as much money on that as you did to buy the gearbox. So, I mean, it's a great gearbox, the VFD. Life is all about choices. You can have a $1,500 rig or a custom-built cheaper rig that does the same things in a mountain of gummy bears to crawl over. That is true. Never debate, never doubt. If you use IERC rear towers, you don't need to cut holes in the bed. But I already did. It's too late for that. Where is Vanquish's 2.2 tire? They made a Geolander. They made a Geolander MT. In 2.2. I've never seen one in the wild. I've never seen mention of one on the internet. I know that it exists. They announced its release about... It was a while after they released the optic, because one of my first beefs about the optic is that it should have come on 2.2 LPs. The fact that they shipped it on 475s is ridiculous. They don't look right. They're not the right size because an optic is It's fully 1/8 scale at that wheelbase. It needs a appropriately sized tire. All the ones that have left here left on 2.2s. One on Scorpios and one on Tusks. 2.2 LP Tusks. Either of which look great. And you'll never really make a proper crawler out of an optic, so I would lean towards the Scorpios. Yeah, the Stealth X is probably my overall favorite because of fitment, like the number of rigs you can put it in, the ability to have 0, 6, 12, 18, or 25%, arguably, numbers inside the gearbox. You can run it motor forward, you can run it backward, you can run a forward motor plate on it. It's just versatile. And simple and quiet, and you can put a slipper on it. You can do all of the things on it. The VFD twin is very long, yes, and those shift levers have always worried me if you were to run it where there's water. Yes, yeah. But Tony Gregg, I'm right there with you. I'm really surprised the VFD hasn't been copied. Yeah, how is there not a clone of the VFD yet, or something like it? Yeah, Stealth X with dig. Stealth X with dig. I don't think Element is ever going to give us a dig gearbox. I don't know. Well, I feel like I'm more certain that Traxxas is never going to give us a dig gearbox because they don't really truck with that. The 2.2 Geolander is ugly. I saw the pre-release, just their little promo photos. I've never seen them fitted to anything. I've never seen them tested on anything. Like, they've never popped up in any of my A-main searches. So, this is how we do this. I need a couple FMS, maybe? Just one. That's all we need. Okie dokie. I'm definitely keeping my hands busy. 1:33. Yeah, Traxxas really aims at the trail side of things. They just happen to crawl really well. Not only that, they kind of aim for this, like, we know that inside of you there's a basher in there, and we don't want to gear you down so slow where you're barely moving. The thing that here's the thing I'm most surprised about Traxxas. I'm most amazed that Traxxas has not, or did not, go with me in the Wayback Machine to like what do we think? 2014, 2015, when they're designing the TRX4. I'm amazed they didn't just build a gearbox with more gear reduction and keep shoving 12-turn Titans in there. It amazes me that they went to a reverse, whatever they call the 21, the Titan 550. I'm amazed that they did that. They could have just doubled the gear reduction in the gearbox, put a 12-turn in it, and just keep pedaling out the same motor that they've been shoving out in RTRs for, 2 decades now? 3 decades now? Because, I mean, as far as a sealed can goes, it's not bad. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, set up on the XF, which was not the way that we would have liked it. The rear links were 110s, and the front links were 120s. That link is a 133. We're going to need Well, we'll use whatever rod ends we got to use. We'll use whatever rod ends we got to use. So. That fell into my Costco rug, which means it's gone forever. That rug devours all which comes near it. It's gone. I use a magnet. I didn't pull that one out. Okay, we'll take this one apart. Psycho Garage said the words. Psycho Garage said the words. Yeah, there's how it comes. Like, there's no method to affix the... So they bolt onto the outside? Or do you have to fold them over? Or do you have to build some... How in the shit are you supposed to attach those things? They're just the front fenders over again. God, it's ugly. Oh, it's a catastrophe. Oh. Oh, my God. Okay. You see, I can't point it because you guys can't see the mouse arrow. The two bolts that go to some sort of mysterious bracket that bolts to the rail, where are you supposed to get those? Dear God. You attach the fenders with that $80 cage you have to buy. Are you making a joke or is that real? Why is the hood so long? Yeah, choices were definitely made. Now, I want to know, it doesn't mean anything to me, but I'm sure someone can tell us, like, what class is that? Like, is that legal for competition as we know it? I mean, they wouldn't have put it out if it wasn't, right? It doesn't come with a mounting solution. Do that yourself. Off to the side of the chat window, I can still see the fender with the two screws, and I'm just sitting here going, what are those screws, what are those screws attached to? Where do those go? It doesn't come with a mounting solution. Do that yourself. Just be aware, it is awesome. It's awesome. I'm a big subscriber to if everything is awesome, then nothing is. Awesome has to mean something. Awesome is relative. Awesome is completely relative. There it is. Okay. That's our length. Now, all I got to do is find a second one. This is what I'm shuffling through. Usually I just dump them out on the bench. That's a long boy right there. Did he do it? No. No. All right. I'm going to dump them out over here. Some anti-ASMR for you. Do you have any idea how many links I have that are like 1 millimeter different? Just Velcro the rear fenders on so when they get ripped off, you can go, meh. I traveled to a conference for work and the keynote speaker was Cam Awesome. It is worse looking than the Axial Pro body. 100%. 100% that is worse looking than a 10 Pro body. The 10 Pro is almost inoffensive comparatively. I did qualify that with an almost. Why did I find one link that is... Yes! I was starting to worry. Unfortunately, these don't have a hole in them. They should have called it the nurgle. Oh my God. Oh, have you ever had something just hit you just right? It hit you just right. Oh, I'm not even sure if that's funny, but hearing that thing called the nurgle struck me hard. The reef's nurgle. Have you thought about building a motor per wheel? I'm being tempted by sets of 4 outrunners. You would have to use some sort of a quad controller, wouldn't you? Lord Pennaby is still on his element. Because we moved the rear link mounting position forward 23 millimeters. And that should be plenty. And I can tell by feel, these are titanium. Yes, they are. The Lord is getting titanium lowers. My head feels kind of light. Something about the word nurgle. My God, it hit me so hard. I did not see that coming. Respect where respect is due, sir. You got me with that one. Whoo! I'm gonna need that coffee drink. I tell you what, nurgle is 100% the unofficial name. And when I even try to say Reef's nurgle, it, God, it hits. That hits. I'm renaming the stream. Reef's nurgle. Oh, man. Oh. Yes, Psycho Garage Jolly Green is getting an anvil, yes. Well, as of right now, as I stand here scraping my knuckles off with a rod end driver, he's getting an anvil. I have the chassis basically uncut, so we should be able to fit it. If we arrive at some unpredictable point where for whatever reason it doesn't fit, we're putting a nurgle on it. No, he's getting a warlord. I bought a warlord and an anvil at the same time. I know the warlord's a little fatter and a little taller. The plan, it's Planville. The plan is anvil. The fallback is warlord. And whichever one doesn't go on Jolly Green will almost certainly go on the Executioner. We use all parts of the nurgle. There's a body that might look great on Jolly Green in a box. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jolly Green may indeed have a third body option in a box. In which case, the anvil will go on either the Executioner or the thing that I build out of the Zoku and Vanquish bits that I'm not using. A nurgle build to test cheap AliExpress servos. The vehicle would have to be named Nurgle, too. Oh, God, the nurgle. Ugh. I feel like I need a lay down. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, yeah. Where's the skid? What did we do with the XF? What did I do with the screws out of the XF? How did I take the links off? There they are. I'd lose my mind. luckily, you'll have to take my word for it, but I have small ears. I have to assume that's why my brain hasn't fallen out. A laydown sounds great. Nurgle. All hail the reef's nurgle. We're doing things that I've done before. After defending Vanquish, I am sat grinding bits off my skid to fit the new Holmes motor that is meant to go with the stubby kit. Why don't these things fit? You guys gotta stop. You gotta stop. Oh. The Exo is rocking his the nurgle on his build already. Oh my god. Oh. It is a tough call between the Shillocutioner and the Nurglecutioner. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, it's genuinely, as people from a certain part of the world would say, it has done my head in. My goodness and my gracious. Oh. The Nurgle. Never doubt. Never doubt. When in doubt, Nurgle out. Oh my god. I should not be this punchy. It's 2 in the afternoon. It's 2 in the afternoon, and I'm like 11:30. Exo is fully nurgled. Get nurgled. Oh my god. Get your nurgle on. We can verb it. We can adjectify it. They should do an LMT body nurgled on. Oh. I forgot to ask, do you need a gold chronic wrench? Who doesn't? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? If that's a thing, who doesn't? Oh. I am like this. This is not what I should be doing right now. I am going to make serious cognitive errors here. Oh my god, the nurgle. You know what? Do you know what? I think he may have done it. I think we may have done did it. If not, we done did got close. Ooh. When you eyeball it with a ruler, even if you put the angle on it, you feel like, oh, we got it. You feel like we got it. And then you throw the tires on it, and the rear axle is too far forward by 4 millimeters. That's why we're not bothering with shocks. We're just cramming those things on. It's going to be like 2 dials out. Have you left the lid off the Sharpie magnet? Is that the final color on the body? No. I haven't left the lid off of a Sharpie Magnum. I did reorganize my pen drawers yesterday, though. Oh, no. No, I think we're good. Wait. Nope. Dang it. We're way too short. We're actually way too short. That's too short by a decent amount. Yeah. I would say 4 millimeters longer. Like we're pretty much, yeah. At 133. Woo, these gonna be long. I think I had one that was just longer. There it is. Now I already found the one that is just longer. Now I have to hunt around and find its partner. Nope. Nope. This is how we do. This is how we do. This, nobody's here for nurgle. Oh my God. I need to find, listen when I say the words that I say. I desperately need to find a place that will do t-shirts the same way that Cafe Press does, just like reliably. Because nobody's here for the nurgle. I love a t-shirt that is such an inside joke that like nobody gets it. I did it all for the nurgle. Like, everything is amazing when it's free, yeah. Also known as the Plague Lord or Grandfather Nurgle. When I first found Exo, I thought he was Vidavon. Might as well be. Might as well be. I didn't bolt those on. I don't, well, okay, here's another one. I can't recall, and this applies, I ordinarily don't, we're just going to use the word soup, so I stopped working blue, but, I've never heard Exocaged speak negatively about anything, any product, and by the same measure, to my recollection, I've never heard RC Review speak negatively about anything either. Now, forget about the other guy, RC Driver Online. That guy, that everything's amazing. I think it's that one. We're going to try that one. Hopefully we will only have to install these rear links like 6 times before they work. And look at me throwing them back in the bin so I don't put them back on again. Because I will, now watch, I'm going to need those for the uppers. It's so funny how the cameras are distracting. You blew that pin out for the Phoenix in minutes and put the Lord next because it's becoming funnier and funnier. Yeah. our RC Review is hilarious. That's a wonderful capsule review. Exo will replace parts and fix stuff before getting too negative on something. I think the only time when he really met the wrath and ire of the buyers of parts was when he did Ascent Fusion versus Stance, and it was stock tires on the Stance and megalithics on the Ascent. And people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is the Lord going to have to be renamed since he is no longer going to be the Blanco Bronco? We decide that we're painting him like the color that they used to paint refrigerators. He's getting an almost like an off-white, like an eggshell white. So he will still be Baseline's baby brother, the Blanco. Insert another B. But yeah, he won't be a Bronco, but he'll still be Blanco. He'll just be like 1970s refrigerator white. I mean, if we're talking bad about people, and like I say, I do make efforts not to. Who the shilliest is a tough call. Sometimes it's shameless. Well, okay. You could say that the Blanco Pickup. Yeah, RC Review is not a shill. It's just a business-based channel over a community one. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. And yeah, I like RC-TNT. Bruce. I like Bruce. Look at that. These got long. These got real long. I actually went one size longer than the one I was originally going to put on. Kevin Talbot is the worst shill. RC Driver is the shillest. Ooh. You ever crawl anywhere besides the canyon? Sure. I went to Proline by the Fire. I've been to Southridge. I go trailing out in the wash now. I leave the yard. The issue is, for most of what I do, leaving the yard isn't, like, it doesn't add anything. I had a comment on a video where somebody said, like, I was making some remark about either a pit bull or something. Might have been a Proline. And they were like, well, when you drive on, like, different environments, and I was like, God. I was like, I didn't want to just say it in the comments because I don't want to be a dick, okay? Right? That's kind of where I operate from. But I do want to be truthful. And here's the deal. That guy doesn't get it. Like, if you're going to test something, you have to test it the exact same. If I'm going to test this, and then I'm going to test this, and then I'm going to test this, you have to test all of them exactly the same. If you're going out into the woods to do that, it's going to be more difficult. So what I have created is not just a protocol with which to test, but a venue upon which to execute that protocol. So yeah, if this tire does better than that one, but that one does better than that one, you can't say, oh, well, this works better where I live because this and this. Objectively, if one is better than the other, testing is consistency in your outcome. Exactly. Test it the same. It's the scientific method. How do people not know what the scientific method is? Like, if you go to the right place, you can make anything look perfect. Hey, John the Fisherman. God, I hope that's a Primus reference. Hey, 17 after. It's 17 after. I think we're still about, now we're too long. By about, are we? I think we're good. I don't know. Jeez. I think it's still a little too far back. But at ride height, we'd be right about there. I don't know. It's only the angle of the swing when it comes up. When we're right there, it might be a hair too far back. Just a hair. The meteorologist in me is getting warm and fuzzy and said, the only thing you're missing from your method is a control each time you run a test. Fair. Oh yeah, the foams in these is a huge overstuffed. Oh, it's a crazy crawler. Crazy crawler. I forgot these didn't come with foams. They came like shrink wrapped into a bag. They're actually quite a bit smaller once you take these big foams out of them. Yeah, Stinky J is 100% right. Proline by the Fire will make a trail grappler perform incredible. Needs uppers to tell for sure. God, I feel like he's right. Okay. We can do that. It's Reddit, bro. Check it out. Flex, bro. Are we ready for Reddit? All right. Let's boy, that made a very cracking-esque sound when we set that down. I'm going to operate from the assumption that it's because nothing is bolted together. All right, I need the little skinny one, this guy. We're going to guess tomato here at about, I'm going to say 125. I'm going to say 125. And we'll get some ends out. You're not building unless you have all the bins out. I want to be a meteorologist. I can't think. And, well, okay. There's a difference between a meteorologist and a weather person. Because not all weather peoples are meteorologists. I have noticed over recent times that the watch app has given up on its nonsense where it's like rain beginning in 7 minutes and lasting for 11 minutes. And I'm like, guys, you can't tell me with accuracy if it's going to rain on Thursday. Now you're like, oh, well, it's going to rain for 9 minutes. If somebody's buying it, it ain't me. If you ain't building links 8 times, are you even building links? Or am I building or assembling? This is a curation, so I'm just assembling. The only part that would trend this a little more towards being able to call it a build is that I'm going to have to do custom stuff to get everything to fit. And we don't have anything like off the shelf. I didn't, and this is Heather with the weather, I didn't just pull a package of links out of a box. I have to source the links. I have to size the links. We have to pray that this comes out at least reasonably close to 125. A little shorter than 125 would be absolutely great. If I had to ask, just a little shorter. Does anyone else here watch? Does anyone else here watch Instagram Reels? Do they doom scroll? Do they just zing through Instagram Reels? And there's a place in Scotland where they make candy, and she's unintelligible because I guess she speaks Scots. And you have to listen to the reels sometimes 3 or 4 times to tell what she's talking about. It's great. I can't get enough of it. One of my RC pals got a set of fake Baja tires that he has to take off and keep out in the shed or they stink the house out. Do you have any tires that have to live outside the workshop? I just did a set on, that's tomorrow's video. The stinkiest tires I've ever encountered. They rested in a bucket of Simple Green for 1 week, and then I steeped them in Dawn Power Wash and boiling water, and then I left them in the sun for 4 days, and then I ran them, and they are right over here in the bin of garbage tires, and they still stink a little bit. It's impressive. That stink goes to the bone. Where's the linker? What did we come out at? What did I say? We needed about 125? That is 128. Now, I was off by 3 millimeters before. So there's at least so what you're saying is there's a chance. There's a chance this will be right. I'm missing a rod end. Just get another one. Just get another one. All right. Well, at least, you know what? I make no promises of any kind. Sire, the peasants are revolting. You said it. They stink on ice. I think this upper is actually just a hair too long, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll with it. If I can, oh, just get the bin. Just get the bin. And don't let me forget to open the box. Sometimes when I turn around, I see the box. Oh, there's no way I'm putting leaves on this. They require more intensive setup than a 4-link does. And also for tire test, I need a level of ability that I'm not going to get from a leaf sprung setup unless it's a bunch of money spent on it. What are my opinion on the Mias rod ends? They are as close as anyone has gotten so far to cloning a TRX4 rod end. So basically, I don't know if the camera will show it. I'm trying to see if I built these even reasonably close to the same length because I felt like I overcranked one. If the hollow ball is reticent to turn inside the link, it probably means that you over tightened it down. We are off by 1 millimeter. This guy is longer. Yeah, I felt like I overcranked this one. That should be, we'll just do 1 turn, even though it's 4 millimeter and it won't be completely accurate. We'll do half a turn. We'll do 1 turn. We'll do a full turn. Yeah, Leafs give you 0 ability. They're great on, man. Leafs were the best thing that I put on that FMS FJ, and now the Leafs are basically unobtainium for whatever reason. No, it needs another turn on that. Still not enough. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Maybe it makes sense. It makes a little sense. Yeah, I definitely overcranked one end. Oh, I see. I think I tightened it down. Leaf spring, TF2, tusk, or megalithic looks are irrelevant. The megalithic will get you a little bit more forward drive, a little bit more bite out of it. Like in terms of positionability and like side lug performance, they're going to be really close. I think at the end of the day, if we're fast forwarding to the end of the day, the megalithic is going to get you a little bit more pure performance, and the exchange for the pure performance is that they're hideous. But the tusk is the king of versatility. I don't think that it's not. I mean, the Baja Pro XS isn't the grabbiest tire in the world. It just happens to be that they work kind of remarkably well on kind of everything, which is why I love the Tusk as much as I do. A Class 1 Tusk, a 393 Tusk, all the way up to a 575 Tusk on vehicles across the board, a Tusk is going to do really well. I have too many rigs in here on Tusks, and I have 1 rig on megalithics. That rig does have the best score at front 9, but, you know, there is definitely a sacrifice or vanity going on with megalithics. But if you don't care what they look like, then yeah. So, oh yes. So I will keep them in separate hands. We'll see if anybody can tell. Oh man, no, nobody can tell. All right, you ready? Well, let me get them. Let me get them positioned. Okay. Which one's which? Which one's which? Want to make sure there's no parallax on them. There you go. So that's a Traxxas. It has a little 4 on it, and I don't think these do. No, that one has a 4 on it as well. One of these is a Mias. Did they copy it all the way down to the mold? Yeah, they did. I found it on an angled one. The font, see the 15? It's a little smaller. That's a curved one. Let me find a curved Traxxas one. So on Traxxas, the number is much bigger. 4. Smaller number. But they are cosmetically identical. It's actually a little harder. Oh, now I remember. You can only press the hollow balls in on these from one side. If you try to push it in on from this side, they just won't go. It's got like a tighter exit on it. Whoa, don't misinterpret that. But yeah, I use the Mias ones and the Traxxas ones pretty much interchangeably. Could you please tell me what you did to the stock element to improve front axle steering? It is called a caster flip. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your C-hubs off and you're going to clock them backward one spline, right? Then you're going to take your tie rod and you're going to put it on top of the knuckle like that so that it still clears. And then it will still wear a shiny spot on there. And then that's going to give you a huge amount of caster so that when you steer to full lock, if we can get all the links out of the way, you can go all the way. An element axle with the caster flip on it has more steering angle than any other axle. It gets you into like, it's like halfway to, well, it's more than halfway to drift car steering. I mean, if it doesn't look as bad as it is, I mean, look at the angle. You get that road grader angle to it. Yeah, there it is. You can go full road grader. What will stop you will be mechanical. Like rod ends and stuff won't travel far enough. So you have to. So the steering link, you move it up to the top. It's usually on the bottom. You move it up to the top. Because if it's on the bottom, it tries to go right through the drive shaft. That doesn't work. Yeah, the most important part is clocking the C-hub back one spline. Yeah, I don't run any of my element axles with the tie rod in the front. I run them all in the back. Now, you could crank it to even more caster and run it in the front. I think baseline's still one spline. He's still one spline. He just looks like he has more. We're going to find out if we got close at all. I just want it to be close. I've already lost the big long screw. It's like a 25. Let's get another one. Yeah. The worst part is not knowing. The worst part is not knowing if any of this is going to work. I mean, fitment wise. Did I take the right side off? Doesn't matter. Performance wise, we're definitely looking at an improvement relative to having the rear links longer than the fronts. We've almost gone skid forward here. And all we needed to do was replace every link. Take me to your nurgle. It's still funny. It's going to take a while for nurgle to wear off. Probably need about a 16, 18. Let's try an 18. Please let this be right. 20? Definitely not an 18. Could be a 22. Am I building yet? Does it feel like a build yet? Isn't that axle upside down? No, the axle is right side up relative to the vehicle, which is upside down. I think, ooh, and that screw was hot. I caught a little bit of that one. All right. Moment of truth is about to happen here. Should be more difficult to fall off of. Yeah, they're way too long. Son of a crap. Way too long. Good grief. But what it does give us the ability to do is see where the rear axle lines up. So all is not lost. Yeah, those rears need to be significantly shorter. Yeah, it doesn't look so bad now. The pumpkin angle is ridiculous. It's basically aiming at the bed. Honestly, I think the lowers could be like 1 millimeter shorter, but the uppers need to be a lot shorter. A lot. Nurgles are small plastic pellets, typically less than 5 millimeters in size, and are the raw material that's used to make plastic bottles, grocery bags, and polystyrene foam. Huh. Nurgle is good, but nurgle. What about a servo that twitches or jumps as you're turning? Twitching, so that's glitching. And we don't commonly see glitching anymore because, you know, it's all 2.4 gigahertz and stuff, and motors are all shielded and everything, and we don't have a lot of those sources of interference. That's a lot of triangulation. That's wild. Those aren't even secured down, and this has no side-to-side axle movement. But what we need to do, I'm going to pop these off. We need to rotate. We'll be right about there. Oh, yeah, I was way off. Don't move. Don't move. Nobody move. No, okay, I wasn't that far off. 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters I can do. Oh, that is true. Glitchy servo could just mean that the batteries in the transmitter are low. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Servo glitching nowadays could be so many things. There's no good lazy way to do this. It's bumming me out. So I want to put as little effort into it as possible. All right. So, Neil Daniels is a little late. He's a little late. He's probably out on the town. As people do. You know, head out on the town. Get it? I try not to go anywhere. Make a decided and determined effort not to go anywhere. Okay, so what did I say? 5 millimeters? Did I say? I did say 5 millimeters, right? Please tell me it was. RC family's got to go to sleep. He's fully nurgled. So I'm happy with the lowers. And then you'll find an upper that's just so much shorter. Oh, I think there it is. I think I got myself into that situation where I have to find a second one. I did say 5. Nice. There's a nurgle in Warhammer. That's awesome. Yeah. I found a little shouldery one that's exactly 5 millimeters shorter. Does he have a partner? You do. You do. Yep. All right. Fingers crossed. If I get these to work, we'll open a box before I lose my mind. What question did I miss? Water damage. Who's familiar with Uncle Roger? Uncle Roger is great. Oh, nautical. Starting to remind me one more time, the stock element axles of the Air 45 or Air 44. They're element, which are different from both. They are neither. The element axle is most close to the AR 44, but it is center pinion, and element went to great lengths, one has to assume, to make it so no AR 44 parts would fit in an element axle. Thanks again for the help with the parts numbers for the spur gear and motor gear for the TRX4. 9x45, as low as you can go. Are the bladders and O-rings in TRX 5462 the same as the 2362? No. I haven't, I'm not looking right now, but I want to say from memory that the 5462 is the pack for GTS. It's for TRX4 shocks. So the seals are the same, but I don't believe that there are bladders in the 5462 unless I'm thinking of a different one. But if I'm thinking of a different one, it would be, I think, the Revo shocks. No, I don't think they're bladdered. I want to say that the big bores are the only ones that are bladdered. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I can remember many things, but for every one of the many things that I can remember, I have forgotten an equal number of things. Yeah, GTS. Yeah, GTS are different. Same seals, but all of the other parts are different. They will not work in fake drabs. Does a slipper install on the Mias transmission that comes not directly onto the shaft? No, it's too short. But you can replace the top shaft relatively easily, even with like a stub axle. So you can, but out of the box you can't. Not only that, the only other gear that will just drop onto the Mias forward motor mount is the mount and gear from a base camp or 10 Pro. That thing will slide right on. That's what's in one of them. One of the Miases that I built, I just put a 10 Pro on it. Okay, now it looks too far back. Dang it. This is... You know what I do? I relent. We're never... I don't mean... Okay. I don't mean never. I mean not right now. It is quite literally doing my head in. I cannot get that rear axle to sit in the right spot. I shortened the upper link by 5 millimeters, and the entire axle moved backwards about 5 millimeters. Those two things should not be connected. Pivot? No, I guess they are. Yeah, when it rotated, it rotated. This is unfortunate. If I got more done today than someone else has all day, that's wild, because I've basically done nothing. I was just spinning wheels. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I now know I need to shorten. Now I need to look at it again. Had it just fallen off to the side? Like when I flipped it over, did it fall out? Is that what happened? No. I won't be happy with it. It's too far to the back. It needs a lower link, 3 millimeters shorter. That's what it needs. And the lower on there now is 105, so I need like hundreds. I need hundreds, about half a thread out, or switch to longer rod ends, one or the other. Building links, I don't know what I was thinking. Building links is not fun. Building links isn't entertaining when you're working with a kit and you're just assembling links. No, it's not the too much arc. It's that when I went to a shorter link, when it rotated the axle, the whole axle shifted back because, well, I was thinking that the rear lower was just a hair too long. And it is. It's right in between. It's going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to test a bunch of different things until we get one that looks like it's going to fit. Because 105 is slightly too long. 100 is going to be slightly too short. This is what building to the body looks like. Building to the body. Where do I plug the Hobbywing programming card for the Fusion? I know it's not in Espanol, but on the switch it says purg. You plug it where it says purg. Thinking gets people into more trouble than anything else. And we're moving the front link mount point, so I'm gonna get to sit down one day and redo the entire front end. Nothing is gonna line up there. Nothing. Yeah, the Goldilocks rod. Yeah. Yeah, J Concepts. Can't get rupture LPs. You can get, I think you can get Tusk. I think I saw Tusk LPs. It's all screwed together, so we'll slide his husk up there. The rest of it is in here. God. Moments like this, I ask myself, is it worst building links or building shocks? It's definitely links. Because generally, a shock, you're literally just assembling it. But this, you put it together, you take it apart, you put it together, you take it apart, you put it together, you take it apart, you put... And then eventually, usually in a build, you'll hit it like once. You'll hit it like once. You'll grab a link, You put the ends on it, and it's just the right length. And you feel the warmth. Like, you feel the warm feeling inside yourself. You're like, it happened. But you'll get it once. So, maybe, when I go to build the front upper, I'll just get it right on the first try. That is the wishfulest thinking. Well, unless it's incision checks, yeah. You're going to have to open those up and rebuild them all the time because they're going to keep letting all their juice out. They don't like to keep their juice. Too good for their own juice. Although, I don't know, Hugo will be able to tell us. I rebuilt his with different silicones, so maybe they'll be better. I mean, they can't be worse, right? I don't think you can physically leak more than an SAD does. Not without modifications. Well, yeah, I have to clear the bench off. It's not just me, right? That seems like a lot of stuff to have fallen off. We sweep it down here towards the end. I'm pretty sure the black mat is PU. I'm looking for something that produces a well-divided group of Starsky and non-Starsky tires. This is I think they sell this one for guns. It's the same stuff that they make like big mouse mats out of. It's single-sided because on the back side it's like a fabric-y, don't slide around on your desk thing. They call it like a work mat. This one was like $12, and I was excited that I could get a mat this big for $12, and it is the perfect surface for the Starsky. Yeah. I think I covered up all the pertinent information. We have to be like Knife Tube, right? Because ordinarily, I like the Secret Castle way of doing it, where he just grabs more and more random things. So the top is rubberized and the other side is fabric, yes. Where he just grabs something random and uses it to cut boxes open with. Can't remember the last time I actually cut a box open with a knife. I just grab an X-Acto from over there. Yeah, it's not you're not officially here. I do like the closure on that. Sounds like you have that mat upside down then. Oh, no, this would be terrible upside down. No, I mean, just look at how filthy the backside is just from being on the bench. Ooh. I think they just kind of flocked it. It's just like, will the box have another box to unbox? I don't know. I'm just opening it right now. Oh, man, there's more tape. Hey. I couldn't see it. The tape was transparent. Oh, that's got an address on it. I'm not here to dox anybody. I do see other boxes. Well, I assume this was the top because it had the address written on this side. So, bubble wrap, bubble wrap, bubble wrap. Got some chassis rails. Got some chassis rails. I'm going to put all this stuff back in the box. We've got a Proline F100. I've never seen this one before. I've never seen this F100 before. This is the one that goes with, that has a cage. I think that's an Injora cage, though. Somebody didn't spring the, like, $70 on a Proline cage. Can we pull back a little bit? Well, that's too many cables. There we go. That's pretty good right there. We're just dominated by box. Proline F100 and relevant cage. We've got the cab of a truck. It says Canyon on it. It arrived at the right place. Oh, we got another one. This is the Sputter Crawler box. We got the deuce and a half. Also says Canyon on it. Means it arrived at the right place. There's another body in here. How many bodies? What is an MX-1? HPI? Look at this little low-profile man. It's like if they made a Humvee desert truck. No, it's like if a Humvee and a Subaru Brat had a baby. This is a wild little fella. We're just gonna make a tower here. I know these. These I know. This is Canyon, arrived in the right place. Those are impossible to get now. Chassis for the F100, which is the Who Crawler. I am familiar with this one. Looks a little different though. Looks a little different. I don't know, what is the origin of this one? What is the origin of this one? That looks very much like the one that's on the Who Crawler, but this looks different. That front mount looks different. I don't remember this curved piece. That's what happens when you park a Subaru Brat in the Cali sun for too long. Oh, it is a Who Crawler. So they're making changes down at Who Crawler. Also, they changed the sides completely because mine had the big tilty angly bits on it. This one does not have the tilty angly bits. This says for F100. Ooh. Yes. Yes. They did such a convincing job of cloning Vanquish. I mean, if I have a set of the Vanquish knuckles that look just like this. It's that's quite smooth. I mean, it is a rotating. You got to give them props. You know, they're getting better and better and better. The axles and the links and it had both. It had the big bird ones. I see all them bodies and I get a paint headache. Oy vey, man. I just don't think about it. It's the best way to do it. Just don't think about all the paint that you have to do. Don't make me make the Lexan stack where I'll bring out all of my bodies that aren't painted. It will depress me mostly. Hey, there's that screw I couldn't find earlier. It was stuck to the side of the drill. And then we have another box. Wow, this is a heavy duty box. This is like the box they would ship medical equipment in. Away from me. It's another box to unbox. Ooh. The blue and the gold. Hunks on shimmed silicones. That's work done that I don't need to do. Flash Hobby 45. Why are there so many shocks? Oh, it's two different lengths. it's 2 different lengths. And then we've got 4 hunks. And then we've got yet still more drive shafts. And it's still more of that. Are they polycarbonate or Lexan? 2 quite different materials. Not to my knowledge. Lexan is like Delrin. Delrin is just a trade name for acetyl homopolymer, and Lexan is a trade name for polycarbonate. If there are substantive differences, oh, these would smell great. No other tires smell like J-Concepts tires. Yeah, Lexan is polycarbonate. All Lexan is polycarbonate. Not all polycarbonate is Lexan. Because Lexan is like Weed Eater. Or, geez, what's another one? Weed Eater's the only one that's coming to my mind. Lexan is a specific type of blend of polycarbonate. Yeah. Delrin is also acetyl or POM. Yeah. No, they're just hunks. They're just hunks. I mean, you could cut every other lug out if you felt like it, but the hunk already has a really good void to lug ratio. So I couldn't think of an instance where you would need to cut. Kleenex. Oh, now we're getting them all. Sawzall, yes. Hoover, Dremel, yeah, for any rotary tool. And a Weed Eater is a string trimmer. Yeah, we're doing it again. We're doing it again. Trade names. Yeah. I have no doubts. I siped them, put them next to another. Well, I got to get somebody with hunks. Out of my way, box. Zobazu is the nearest. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. He cut the long lug. Oh, and he siped through the middle, so they look like brake pads now. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah. So a sipe through the long and then a sipe through the one in the middle. Wow, that's a good job. I would not even have noticed. Is the small box in the other box? Because there's the other box that isn't this box. If there was supposed to be another box inside the big box, I missed that box entirely. I did. I missed this whole box. I'll fight anyone who says Q-tips weren't purposely designed to go in your ear. Yeah, I mean, like, what are they for then? Like, they fit right in your ear. If that's not designed to go in your ear, what are they claiming? What's the angle? I got to figure out where to orient. No, you know what? I like it right there. I like it right there. Offset caps. Mias drive shafts. 2 different skids. One for a 3-gear, one for a... That's a 4-link skid with the 2 weird bolts. I don't know what that one is. I know what that one is. What is the 4-link with the just 2 offset screws? I don't know what that one is. 10-1? 1 Amazon Basics AA battery. Oh my God, is it a stomper? Get out! The kids are in for something special. Oh my God, it's got a 2-speed. It's got a 2-speed. Oh, get out. It's a real stomper. Oh my God. This is too much. This is too much. You know how many Stomper references I've made on here? Like Hugo has no idea what that is. Like, right? This thing has all of the technology and sophistication of a VFD twin. And it predates it by, God, it has to be 50 years. Perfect. So it's got high and low. Yeah! Oh, wait, I gotta see high. Yeah, buddy! Wait. So good. And I mean, okay, look, all right? I haven't seen a Stomper in so many decades either, okay? All right, here's the deal. There is a single LED right there. There is a single incandescent light bulb. I don't think this camera will get in tight enough. I can see the filament inside that light bulb. There's a filament in that light bulb, all right? We're talking about technology of the, 1970s? When you turn it on, there's like a light pipe under the hood that pipes the light from that single bulb out the headlights. We don't even have stuff that good nowadays. Yeah! Oh my goodness. It needs a place of honor. Put the weirdo Optimus on top. Oh, that actually stacks better. Will it climb Slick Rock? Oh, we'll find out. This is, okay. The people of the Discord know that I will yell at great lengths about minis and micros. This is an acceptable micro. Because when you don't have it powered up, you can still roll it around. This is, I will argue, and no one can convince me otherwise, this is better than any SCX-24. Are people still allowed to come visit the canyon? Absolutely. Will it climb Slick Rock? We're going to find out. I had a black pickup Stomper with a chrome roll bar. That's awesome. Yeah, Pico scale. Man. Stompers. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, man. That takes me back. So every micro that the boss doesn't have is not allowed with one. Oh, no. Stompers get a pass. Stompers get the forever pass. Now you got to fit a brushless system to it. That thing is mint. I heard that in an accent, in the accent. That thing is mint. So good. So good. So now we have yet another body option for Jolly Green. Stomper had the first fiber optic headlight gizmo. So added to the body pile of dear God, yet more bodies in here. I've never seen this one. It's probably like, I'm going to guess that the cab costs, that thing is stout. It probably costs more than like a full-length body, which is why I've never looked at it. It's pretty good looking. It's definitely newer era Pro line because it's really thick. Pro line, I must give, although this insert looks really old. 2014? Spring 2015. Holy crap. Where did you find this? It would explain why I've never seen this one. It's not new. It's the opposite of that. Hey, look. The Proline Crosshair body mounting kit is the exact same kit as the Biddy design kit. The full body 66 in the other is in the other box, your choice. This is really, really cool. This is really cool. So now I don't know. I don't know. F100, 1966 Ford F100 for SCX10 Trail Honcho, 12.3. Huh. Huh. Geez, that weirdo Optimus looks like for a 6x6. Where did he get it? Came across the Deuce Bunny on eBay. And if memory serves, it took a long time for him to get it. Thoughts on deluxe iron rocks? I have 475 tusks, and I want to get replacements for the tusks are completely torn up, thinking iron rocks. I would just get a new set of tusks. I don't know if you're like me, but most of the strength of why a tusk works the way it does is this zone right here. You'll notice that row of lugs will feather out on a tusk before any of the others, because this is where all of the work is getting done, right in that transition from main lug to shoulder lug. That's where a tusk sings. If you take your tusks out to the 12 grit rocks in the desert and you drive it Proline by the fire for like 6 hours, this is what your tusks will look like. They will be fully feathered. This is as much traction as you will ever get out of a set of tusks. These are the tuskiest tusks that there are. The iron rocks do not have that shoulder. They don't have it. The lug comes to right about where this lug is, and then the sides are just smooth. So they don't have any of this. And a gentleman came over and had a rig fitted with iron rocks, and I drove it for like 10 minutes. And the feel of them was exactly, precisely what I thought it would be. If you live in an area where you're doing a lot of cramming your tire in up against or wedging or going up through gullies and side lug is flipping you over a lot, the iron rock will do great. They did pretty good on the compound. I would not say that the compound is quite as good as green, quite as versatile as green, but they're good. It just, that lack of side lug, to me, under no circumstances would I regard it as a strength. So the tusk gets better with age. Every tire gets better with age. Every tire gets better with age. Instead of getting them down, we'll just pull one. This is one of Baseline's canyon trails. You gotta drive an RTR compound canyon trail a good while to get that. Look at the wedge on that tread. He's got that gecko grip. And then look at the way the lugs wear because of the difference in shape. When you look straight across to the lugs, look at how different the face of the lug is. Every tire gets better as it wears in. Some tires just start better, and then they get better. Every Proline, that's the ultimate G8 defense of the defenders of the Proline tire, which is, well, they get better after they get X amount of hours of drive on them. Yeah, so does every tire. So if a Tusk starts off with more grip than a G8 Hyrax, G8 Swamper, whatever, it's just going to get better. So I don't buy the, oh, they get better when they're broken in as an argument for a tire. I'm not advising people to don't go out and buy Tusks because they get better once they're worn in. They start off amazing. And then they just get better as they're worn in. I don't have member privileges and I can't use my moderator privileges. Someday. Challenge accepted. Nicely feathered. Takes a lot of miles to get them that nice. Those canyon trails are 4 years old. Those canyon trails are from 2020. They show no signs at all of dry rot, age degradation, nothing. They're wearing in. Oh, there he is. G8 scrubs in so good. They all do. Every tire wears in well. Now you need to paint a 1/10 body like the Stomper. Oh, I kind of do. What, with the drippy checkerboard? Oh man. I kind of do. We'll find you somebody to send on. We'll find Hugo somebody to send on timeout eventually. It has to happen, right? I was watching the Harpist again, and they have like 4 moderators just fully active. If you're wondering how often I run 6% over underdrive, never. These are the brand new ones that never even went into a gearbox. Some of these were from when I had to disassemble Jolly Green's gearbox, I think. Because he needs no underdrive overdrive. Yeah, that's another 26. That's a 12%. Or got swapped out for 18s. I had a rig named Stomper. It had a J Concepts K10. Yeah, that's a good body for it. Do you recommend rotating the tires, assuming they're non-directional, when they get that worn to feather the other side? Well, you could, but I don't know if there's going to be any advantage of it. Like if you wear the back of the lug. I'm trying to think of like, what is a tire fully, let's call it omnidirectional, that I've run both ways to feather both sides. I can't think of one. Because like something like a landmine, anything with a tiny lug, so pin, landmine rupture, tires like that, if you feather both sides, you're really just going to narrow the amount of contact surface down. I don't think it's explicitly going to help. I never even really think about it. Like the front tires have been on the front and the back tires have been on the back on both. They run the same insert. Baseline and Argenum both run the same insert all the way around on the same rim all the way around. They don't have weighted rings. They don't have any of that. So when I grab his 4 tires, I put the 2 lefts on the left and the 2 rights on the right. And I never think about which one is the front and which one's the back. And then everybody else, people, there are rigs running mediums in the rear and softs in the front. Well, then the fronts are the fronts and the rears are the rear. So the left front runs as the left front like forever. Yeah, Espresso-Matic, it'd be worse to wear them from 2 sides, probably. Is the Surpass Rocket 540 Gold Can out of stock or discontinued? Not finding it on Amazon. The Gold Can goes out all the time. Look for the NHX Momentum, the one that comes in the blue can. It's the exact same motor. It's just blue instead of gold. That one seems to stay in stock more often. If you search AliExpress or search abroad, you can still find the Gold Can. The only one that I know for a fact is discontinued was the 4 pole was the 4 pole, the dark chrome, the like gunmetal chrome one. Hey, Psycho Garage with the 1 free. Let's face it, we all buy more tires than we could wear out in 30 years. Yeah. Most often they rot out before they wear out. He got Jeremy T. RC. Does anyone else have one of the Rough Rider trucks with the shifter sticking out of the roof? No. Hey, 25 today. 25 ain't bad. 25 ain't going to keep up with the attrition of last week. We had 52 rolled off in the last week. But as long as we're floating on, I'm already spending the February money. Like that's how I bought this. I'm spending money I haven't even gotten paid with yet. The 540 Plus motors are all discontinued. Oh no. I mean, I get it. In a world with a Fusion, yeah. I mean, What is the point? Quite literally, what is the point? Brushed is zombie technology at this point. It's dead. It just apparently doesn't know it yet. But we'll be able to, I think Axial's warehouse of sealed 540s is probably endless. They'll never stop hitting us with those. Yeah, the Canyon Trail is definitely a tire that improves, and it makes perfect sense that a Canyon Trail gets better as it's worn in, because the Canyon Trail out of the box is fair at best. It got a 95. Put a Canyon Custom in it, and you pull it out just like this, uncut, full lugged, and it pulled a 95 because it is a good pattern. But then you cut the lugs, and then you wear it in, and you get your insert matched, and and then they're great. Those of us who hate Outrunners more than the loss of 540s, yeah. Don't know if it's been discussed, but Holmes snuck us a look at his version of a 2-in-1 motor ESC combo. It's also a stubby in his latest video. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense for him if he's stickers. If he's making if he's got a stubby end runner, that's one step away. That's only one step removed from making a Fusion, his version of a Fusion. Your camera must be updated before you can use it. Okay. Might as well just off to the DMV. Woohoo! Ugh. The 27-turn axial 540 is the maximum torque you'll get from a 540. The higher turns are all just slower. Well, no. By that argument, a 21-turn is going to be even higher torque, and a 12-turn is going to be even higher, and a 4.5-turn is going to be even higher than that, because the lower the turn count, the more power you get out of it. But then you're talking about the difference between slot count. So a 3-slot is going to produce more torque than a 5-slot, but then a big block, which is what the Gold Can Surplus Rocket Pluses, NHX Momentum, when you get to that, then it's a whole different thing, because that's basically like a Holmes Magnum. So you have a bigger rotor, bigger everything, and neodymium magnets instead of just regular standard ferrite magnets. So they definitely produce more torque. Like the Surpass Hobby Rocket Plus, Rocket V2 Plus 540, they make more torque. They make as much torque as a Fusion. They produce torque on the level of a brushless motor. You should do a tire protocol with the cut and feathered Canyon Trails as you've never ran them before. I think you're right. And that plays nicely into, somebody said that there should be a control, and we can have the control be baseline run the protocol on his tires, which are fully broken in Canyon Trails, which are the same tires that he used to set up, as I mentioned, baseline set up every course except for the blue course, which I still haven't made the markers for yet, but I have an excuse for that. More torque comes down to diameter or length. Yeah. So that's what, hence a 550 having more torque than a 540. But if you take a 540 and you big block it and you go from, I think the regular ones are like 23 millimeter and the big blocks are like 29. That's a significant increase in the size of the rotor. Finally, after 20 plus years of RC addiction, I got myself an early birthday present. Finally got some MIP drivers, always had tools good enough to get it done. Today I feel fancy. And then it's just a slippery slope down to there. I'm not even going to look up the name. I'm just going to search it, because we're going to need the app immediately, right? GoPro. GoPro quick. Jeez. Nobody's ever downloaded this before. It only has 767,000 reviews. 5-minute warning. Let's see. I hope you see this one. I was just ignoring the other ones because my wife is in a meeting right now, and we must have, the internet just must be doing great today, because we have dropped, at this point, 196 frames on the network and 2 frames due to rendering lag, which is nothing. Out of 400,000 frames have been rendered, and we've dropped 196. Yeah, it's the Midwest goodbye in Stendon. MIP is buy once, cry once, other than the 1.5s that seem to break no matter the brand. I'm on my third 1.5. I've broken 2 of these, both of which my fault. One was I was tightening down the locking screws on a clamping servo, and I was holding the wheel with one hand on the radio and tightening it, and without thinking, I let go. And the servo horn went and just ripped the end right off. The other one, I dropped it, and it landed like perfectly, pating, and just snapped the end off of it. My fault. This is my first one of the 2mm, because as you can see, I've basically worn all the paint off. But because, as you all know, I am more frequently a user of this, I go through about one of these a year. In the 2mm. I still have the original. This was the first 2.5 I ever bought. There it is, still going strong. I go through about 1 2mm a year because I was talking to the MIP guy at the RC show in Pomona. And he said, people are like, oh, why don't these things last forever? And he goes, you used to need a whole toolbox full of stuff to assemble and tear down a rig. And he goes, now the entire thing is 2mm. They got me. Guys, they got me. Okay. If you're an Apple person, you'll know what this means. I am still on iOS 16.6, which is like, they're currently on like iOS 18 point something. I have refused to update because it messes with the photo album and I don't like the way it looks. So every time it asks me to update, I go, remind me later. It's a sad day in the canyon. This application requires iOS 17.0 or later. They finally got me. They got me. I'm going to have to update my iOS so that I can use my GoPro. They finally got me. So, if you ever want the best grease, here's the best grease. It's periwinkle blue. The best grease is you take the hater sauce that was in here. You take a whole bunch of Vanquish blue. You take, there's some red and tacky in here, and there's something else, and there's some Gorilla Snot in here. I had half a tub of that left, which was like waterproof grease for paintball guns. So there's like 6 greases in here, and it made this nice periwinkle blue. And I've been testing it lately on building stuff because y'all know me, man. I'm a CV joint grease guy. iPhone 8 won't go above 16.7. I don't even know. It just keeps asking me about HomeLink setup. I don't even know what these guys are on. I assume they auto update. That guy's an 8, and the guy up here, the one I never go to, this one right here. Oh, that's some real parallax for the brain. He's an 8+. Who made that? The scientist who mixed the sauce for the movie Twins? Yeah, I was just, well, and then we have the sauce, which is, I had a bunch of bottles of almost empty, like quick detailers. So we poured them all together. I'm going to say it. Molybdenum. I almost said it the real way. Now that I've heard molybdenum, ugh, I still hate it. Molybdenum. I'm big on CRC Moly engine assembly grease and white lithium. You can get them in a big tube and start putting them into syringes. Who would do that? But do your syringes have giant 10 gauge on there? So yeah, it's, you know what? I'm gonna sit down. I have my batteries charged. I'm ready, but it's probably going to take like an hour to charge that to get my phone switched over because I haven't updated since. I hope I can do a direct shift from. I'm almost positive that it's 16.6. I'm so far behind. Yeah. iOS 16.61. Yeah! I held on. I held on as long as I could. I just know that as soon as I update it, something's going to start working worse. Join us tonight at 7 p.m. Jason's RC, live 24th scale fun and all RC. Risky. I use brake assembly grease because it's got moly in it too. Yeah, CV joint grease is my choice. I don't even use photos on iOS anymore for anything. I can't stand it. Hugo's going to sleep. Yeah, Dean's plugs. Hugo hasn't moved over to XT60s yet. He's still a Dean's guy. All right, everybody's going to bed, and I'm running out of gas. My wife's in a meeting. Did I finish the wife's in a meeting thought? My wife's in a meeting until 4, so I can sit in front of the computer and read emails and stuff until... I wish I had a bowl out here. A stomper in a bowl is a good time. You put a stomper in like a big salad bowl and it just like, it just growls around. He's not going to sleep until I finish the Midwest goodbye. Interesting. I'm going to warn you. Hopefully, here's what needs to happen. The wife needs to, this is probably going to be, hopefully this will happen like in the summer. Okay? The wife will have a hockey game or something to go to on a Friday, and then we'll just live stream until we all fall asleep. It'll be a good day. We'll do. So the Harpist this Wednesday, they did a live stream until they finished an album. It's up on Bandcamp. It's pretty good. It's like music to hold on to, something like that. It's pretty good. We'll do a build. Here's a goal for the afternoon, and by that I mean the summer. Here's a goal for the summer. We'll do a whole build in a stream, like start to finish, and we won't end until it's done. Which means that stream will be like 6 hours long. So we'll see if any of us manage to survive that. Brorb already fell asleep for 20 minutes. I get it. You got to remember, over here it's 3:33 in the afternoon, and I'm already tired. So I don't know how some of y'all are doing it. By the time some of y'all are all watching this, I'd be asleep. He woke up to the bodies being unpacked. I fell asleep in my chair watching the episode of Hot Ones with Questlove from The Roots. And when I woke up so angry. I was so angry. I don't remember what day of the week that was. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday. I just, like, waking up angry is never the way to be. My tinnitus was real riled up. Does something happen to, like, your blood pressure or something when you fall asleep in a chair? It's not falling asleep. Falling asleep is something that you do willingly. That is passing out. If you don't intend to fall asleep, and then you wake up and it's later, you passed out. That's my argument. That's my stance on that. So before any of you pass out and before I pass out, well, Stu Nod's on the West Coast. He's not going to pass out. In summer after a nice barbecue dinner, I can stay up until 3 to 4 a.m. easily. Yes, but the Spaniards don't even get out of bed till like 11 a.m. I've already finished filming by the time you people get out of bed. And I didn't mean to say you people in a derogatory way of you people. The West Coast is the best coast. Just whatever you do, don't come and live here. There's already too many people, and it's too expensive. I mean, to the Europeans, they probably don't even think it's that expensive, but it's pretty expensive. Yeah, Charles, really, I pass out all the time then. The hissing is typical. Oh, no, not hissing. Tinnitus. screaming. I have tinnitus right now. If you have tinnitus, you have it all the time. The people who know of tinnitus know of tinnitus. But sometimes the tinnitus is more angry. The tinnitus chooses the level that it's going to fire at. And when I woke up, man, it was firing. My wife just gave me a cord that lets me have a double display from my iMac to my monitor. You're live on one screen and Minecraft on another. That's how I do. That's how I do my double monitor. Oh, by the way, I mentioned this briefly on the Discord. Okay. I'm not telling you to do it, but I am telling you, if you have about 2 hours set aside and you have literally nothing else to do, get your hands on a copy of the movie by Francis Ford Coppola called Megalopolis and sit down and watch it. Don't try. Okay. You know, there are people that say they can figure out a movie, they can like determine the plot, they can figure out what's going to happen. That won't happen here. It is. I have. If you asked me to try to explain it, I can't. It is. It's so confusing. Oh, it's bad. It's not good. Let me put it this way. It is people. And I mean, when I say people, I mean actors. Actors that you know. Overacting to a degree. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I have just watched the boner scene this afternoon. Yeah. So I'm taking you watch Corridor Crew. Corridor Crew is responsible for this because they showed that scene and oh no, 12 Monkeys is one of my favorite movies. It's hard to follow, but it's fantastic. Brad Pitt, awesome. Bruce Willis, awesome. Everybody and Brazil, amazing. I cannot explain Megalopolis to you. I can't. It's truly inexplicable. I can't even tell like how bad is it actually. It's impossible to quantify. Even if you just watch the episode of the Corridor Crew where they have some clips of it, you will be blown away. Move in the backyard. That might be my boss. All right. Charles Hurley, what's a movie? All right. So with that, we will bid you all adieu. We ran. Oh, THX 1138 is a great movie. That's a deep cut. Not a lot of people have seen THX 1138. All right. Yeah, we're full into Mythic Ender status. This has been the Midwest Goodbye for like half an hour, like a solid half an hour. So here's how we're going to stop. We're going to boop. Look at that. Screen ain't flashing. I could go. And you'd never even know. So, we will see you all in the next one. Susan! We're going to do the thing. I think, okay, if you have a ruptured eardrum, does it make it sound kind of like crinkly cellophane in your ear sometimes? Because if that's the case, I might have one of those. I might have one of those. So, thank you all so much for joining us here. I look forward to seeing you in the Discord and all the videos. Look forward to a little bit of a members thing when I get my phone updated and we go to test we'll test the Pro. So Bruce will get to roll around on the course. We'll do a little lap around there. So, indeed, happy nurgle, everyone. We're nurgling our way all the way. It's still funny. Nurgle has not worn off. We're nurgling out. We're Susaning out. Oh, when I slammed her down. Hold on. When I banged her on the counter, she got a little. Oh. Like I overpacked her. You just have cat hair stuck in your ear. Oh my God. That's actually possible. So a jolly nurgle to everyone. I'm going to have to go through Susan. And yeah, she's real slow. She's real slow now. Have a good one, everybody. Happy Nurgle. Happy Nurgle's Day to everyone. I definitely nurgled Susan. I need to pull her apart and have a look at her inner bits. I'll see you all in all of those familiar places.